a lot of stuff happened. We had a little bit of fun. We left off the session previous with you guys kind of seeing both sides of the revolution and what had occurred in that. And from there, you began making your way to the military district of the city, or the Firelight District, in which you guys got stopped by about 1 million different things along your way. Specifically, one of those things being a massive wall that you guys had not yet noticed up to that point, seeming to be illusory and deceptive in hiding itself from you guys. There were a lot of holes in this wall, seemingly made by flying machines, or at least the ones in the air were. And you guys saw that one of them was still inside of the wall. And so you guys investigated it for a little while. During that time, Zareth decided to have a little bit of a curious discussion with half of the group, in which he revealed to them that he had seen Nari and Nibs off on their own, and just wanted to let everyone know that they were acting a little sus.
Little sussy bacas.
A little bit sus, yeah. And so, from there, they went about their business as usual, making their way to the Aquarius Developmental Facility in the Firelight District, where you guys discovered, I think, finally really realizing just how far ahead this place was in terms of military technologies. You guys knew it was happening, and how you knew that they were far ahead of you where you are technologically now, but you had not really seen it yet. So you guys kind of finally saw it, and there were some pretty powerful things that you guys have absolutely no clue how to work them. Bummer, exactly.
People all die.
And people all die. Bummer. And so after a little while just looking around, finding stuff, you guys ended up meeting Prometheus in what I like to call a firelight therapy session, in which he was backed by an Acetron, which you guys know to be the specific automatons that were corrupted and then unleashed onto the city and pretty much murdered a whole bunch of people. From there, you guys had a long discussion with Prometheus, where he ended up inciting a zone of truth around it. And there was a lot of questioning, many raised voices, and at the end, a contract. A contract with 7 lines for 7 names to be written, for you guys and Zareth to write their names. Pretty much, he revealed that he was looking for some specific items in hopes to hopefully complete a ritual to destroy the fold, and so that they could finally leave and explore again after what he seems to be revealing about 14,500 years. He hasn't told you the exact timeline, but he's said somewhere around 14 and a half multiple times to this point. So, after some deliberation and discussion, there were 5 things requested. 1, just being a baseline for any ritual, just a lot of things of value, whether that be gold, gems, magical items, or things of personal worth. Just things of value. There was also as much Jurassic blood as you could get your hands on, a dragon's heart, the written riddle of a sphinx, and what was optional. I mean, all of these are technically optional.
Soul of a devil was the other one.
And the soul of a devil. What'd you say, dude?
Soul of a devil.
Yep, soul of a devil. And so, after revealing these things, and after speaking with you guys a little bit longer, he pretty much gave you a very, very bare bones map, just mapping out the cities and such, and then said, you're welcome to go about your quest, finish mapping the place. I ask that you meet me in the Overkeep Mountains whenever you are done, and he let the Acetron roam with you. And from that point, he had a little bit of a discussion with Mikhail that nobody knows about due to a time stop being cast. But from there, you all kind of spent maybe a little bit more time in Ace use. Was there anything in particular you were looking for as we speed through be about 10 to 11 day period of time.
I was looking for more automaton stuff, as well as power cells, as well as...
You do not find any power cells.
Not even empty ones?
No. Prometheus revealed to you in the previous conversation that they've been here for 14,000 years.
And have been scavenging the shit out of
And have been scavenging the shit out of things to make sure random travelers, like you guys, can't gain access to incredibly powerful technologies off the bat.
Do I get training with the pistol?
Do you get some training?
That would be happening during our little venture of mapping.
I would say
I was
that
gonna-
you
that
can
was
get
the next
some
question
training.
I
I would say you don't quite gain proficiency over the period of time.
Any more advanced automatons that
Nope.
I find? Okay. Other than the security drones. Anyways.
What's the
But he knows how to use it
camaraderie
now?
like after?
You understand the basic ideas of how to use it.
I disassembled it, kind of showed him how it works. It's a laser pistol, it has no recoil.
Yeah, it has
Point
zero
and
recoil.
shoot. But over the 2 weeks, he has a good understanding of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I do hand that off to you, by the way, during those 2 weeks.
Okay. I will take it into my...
Along with the 3 charges
Yes.
of 75 rounds.
25 rounds per charge. Meanwhile, he has a grenade launcher.
What are
he can
we
use yet.
like as a party after having that whole moment of truth?
That is for you guys to decide. You can be incredibly just kind of cold shouldering with each other for a little while. But that is entirely up to you guys. In fact, we'll kind of go over that real quick. Since Grayson isn't here, we obviously can't get his info. But Jade, how does Trek feel after the conversation?
He is going to go over civically sorry. And he's going to reintroduce himself. Hello. Hello, I'm Trek. You've been lying. You've found out now. Can we start off on a new foot?
Wait, say that again?
He's talking to me. He's asking Murray. He's trying to start again.
Oh, okay.
Is it that bad? Sorry.
It kind of is. I'm seeing if
It's just kind of quiet. That's all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you turn it?
I think I'm max volume.
Or can you put him on the table?
Can I put him on the table? I mean, I
Like
can,
closer?
but that won't do much.
Well, he'll be closer at
Maybe
least.
it's personal audio settings.
It is your personal audio settings, but I don't want to go through fixing.
Exactly. Did they not give you the barbecue sauce too?
No.
Nori is going to just kind of give you a little bit of a worry look, but also shake your hand. Say, don't do any more stupid shit, alright? And we'll be fine.
Same to you.
I'm just gonna let the fire go up a little bit and just...
Alrighty.
He's a
So,
little more disappointed at Nibs.
Nori is extremely upset with Nibs. No.
okay, everyone's upset with this.
Nobody likes Nibs right now.
I'm
I
not.
don't know why you did.
No.
No, what is Nibs like for the next 10 or so days?
Well, that's really gonna depend on people. Like, he had already started making an effort to reach out to in fences and different stuff with different people. If they are giving him a cold shoulder, then he'll be like, well, okay. And it's like, I'm not a big fan of goat people anyway. And he'll spend a lot of time with Warren. Warden, sorry, can't talk. He will give Nari a little space for a day or two to calm down.
Nori's just gonna ignore Nibs' existence completely for a few days because she had felt like she was finally starting to get to a point where she had someone that she trusted on the group, and then,
I don't remember what he did that wouldn't make you untrusting.
well, first of all, I was slightly suspicious of your whole, like, suddenly becoming all, like, nice and, like, apologizing to people for shit instead of just being your normal racist asshole. So, that was slightly, like, okay, what? Mostly just confusing. Pleasantly surprised, if nothing else. But then, like, hearing Prometheus talk, I just felt like maybe I thought we had the same mission, or a similar mission at least, and that now I'm not so sure.
As far as Warden's concerned, after we like are leaving, as we're leaving, Warden just kind of says out loud that it has been my mission and will continue to be my mission to protect and heal all of you. I have no hard feelings. And then upon getting onto the ship, he is going to say to Nibs, he's like, come, small one, and perches him up on his shoulder. It's like, you can map better from up here.
Give me a little pat.
The only one in the group?
Yeah.
The only wholesome player.
Yeah, that's it.
Every group needs one wholesome dad player.
I'm more of the mom player, but like, because I'm more
The wholesome parental player.
parental player.
Now,
It's
his party doesn't have a parent player. He's got the wholesome child player.
Yeah, that's right.
So we have 10 days, is what he said?
10 days.
So, in 10 days of me and Warden I'm just mapping, hanging out with him most of the time. I'll continue to I will try to talk to Nari after 4 or 5 days. Can I roll an insight to see if it's been long enough?
Sure, you can go ahead and roll an insight. You don't have to roll anything.
I was gonna say, do I need to roll?
No, it's just me to figure out if it was a good time or not.
That's a 12.
That might fit.
So fancy. Both so fancy.
17.
17.
Is this a good time? Or do I need to wait more?
Are you saying that to Nari? Or are you like, okay.
I'm asking my roll. I have 17, so I think that's good enough for him to figure out
A little bit.
A little bit. To read her enough to know, is she still really pissed or does she need more like the rest of the week?
Like here, or here.
You know,
Claire makes that decision.
yeah.
What does Mikhail feel about it? How is he feeling about the conversation? He has some other feelings along with everybody, but
I think he feels mostly indifferent. Like he hasn't. His mind has not changed about anyone really. Like there's definitely some things he was like, huh, weird. But for the most part, he just doesn't really. His opinion hasn't changed of anyone. More or less, he kind of already knew the directions people were going, even though not quite the details behind them that came out in our little truth sesh.
yeah.
But he's fairly insightful and has a general understanding of people, or at least he likes to think he does.
Yeah.
So,
Some point when it's during the time and before he talks to Nari, he's just going to come by when you're alone. Yeah, my backpack there. And he's going to nod. Thank you. I know that your priority is your sister. He goes, oh, you. And he's just going to nod to you and head on his way.
so Melody, the doctor, playing with the library. Which is
You're sleeping library.
not.
Go ahead and roll me a D8 on that.
Okay.
Also,
Sorry.
Nari's frost is thawing slightly, I guess, in that way. What went from complete like indifference to you for a short time. She's starting to warm back up to you again, but she still has a lot of questions that she has before she feels like she can have more trust
yeah.
with you, I guess.
They walk over and, without saying anything, just reach in and pull out a flask of oil and hold it up.
Nari will take it, take a big old swig, just straight out of the oil.
It's a- yeah, that's a-
Shooter.
does that, and before he swallows, you pull out some whiskey. They're only small, you know.
Yeah.
Big one for you, a shot glass style for him.
Yep.
I mean, it's not the full deal, but
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything as I do that. Just
take it,
wordless.
put it back in his things, nod, and walk over. And you come back over to Warden. And most of the time when he's not mapping, he's just going to sit on your shoulder and practice quick draw. And then put it down, pull it out. It's not loaded. Aim, pull the trigger. He's just going to start that. He's just going to, that whole process of the unloaded gun, playing with it for 10 days to get familiar with it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I did fabricate a leather holster for him.
Okay.
nice.
Gotta stay strapped or get clapped.
It's really funny thinking about a monk just walking around with a pistol.
They kind of
It's like,
He will become the gunk.
my fists can't hurt you? Well, try that.
Yeah.
Gun. Parry this, you fucking casual.
all the other kids with their pumped up kicks, they better run. Outrun my gun.
Oh,
I would say Nibs, Nari.
Are you giving me the
Trey,
cold shoulder? Are you giving Nibs the cold shoulder?
Jade.
Jade?
Are you giving?
Right, one of the cameras is.
Sorry. Are you giving Nibs the cold shoulder as well? If he reaches out?
I think there's one time that he's gonna go up to Warden because of something he's wanted to do during the 10 days. He's wanting to fix his
I had a very light
movable rod a little better.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so in that interaction, he is not gonna give a cold shoulder, but he's not gonna acknowledge you unless you acknowledge him.
Alright. So, he's wanting to come over to Warden with the movable rod. And,
He goes to Warden, asks, so I'm wanting to make it so that I can turn the thing on really quickly, instead of taking like a whole 6 seconds to do it. It's attached to my arm, so I can just like stop myself, and he demonstrates, he like fiddles with it, and all of a sudden, while you guys are walking, just like stops it there, and then unlocks it, and falls back to the ground. I want to do that a lot faster. Have any tip? I know how to tinker, right? Oh. Is there any way that Warden can actually help with that?
Look, so I'm gonna look at it. Does it have like a trigger mechanism or something, or how does it?
Pretty much there is an incantation followed by moving of a latch and pressing of a button. All very small stuff, but it is a time-consuming process.
It's rigged up a little bit. It doesn't make the process any faster. It just basically makes it so that it doesn't have to use this other hand. All the mechanisms right here have like some crude little metal things going up to his palm. Then you can hit the lever up here to work mechanism right here.
So with it attached to your arm, you have like like a little bit of like a string or something attached to be able to
Sure.
hit
Yes.
the latch without
It
you.
doesn't make it go any faster.
Okay. Yeah, sure, DM. I'm kind of I don't know. I mean, I know it has. I can't speed up the incantation.
No.
So the incantation itself takes 6 seconds.
The incantation itself takes about 5 seconds, and the rest of the process... Well, the idea of it taking up 6 seconds is really not correct. An action is not something that takes 6 seconds. An action is something that takes up the primary focus of your character for 6 seconds. It's not like, oh, this incantation actually takes 6 seconds, but in order to not mess it up, especially in terms of like operating magical items or spellcasting, because messing those up are dangerous, you want to be sure not to do that, so it takes your primary focus for those 6 seconds. That's the idea of the action.
Well, either way,
Drake note that it's impossible to make it so I could do it in a bonus action instead of an action.
I would say probably. Like, you haven't done too much with magical items, but you get the idea that there's no way other than with practice to speed up something, and you practice as much as you can.
well, either way, Warden is going to take it for a bit. He's going to lubricate the extendable part, or just kind of lubricate the thing, as well as make the straps and the string hooks that go into his onto his arm a bit more refined.
Okay.
Just kind of making it more secure to his body. That's really it.
Okay. So, for those interested, you can roll an insight check for Zaret.
Nice, all over
I'm
that shit.
interested.
Oops, I did not mean to roll it on there.
Meh.
21.
21
Where
for
did my
Drake?
die?
24.
24?
Straight up 9.
Straight
Where
up
am I
9?
dying?
Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah. Old Mikey boy over here is completely disinterested in Zeth, apparently.
Roll 1.
No,
3.
but even with a plus 8, it's only 10.
Plus 8.
Nice.
So,
So,
You're so disinterested in everything all the time. You'd be the best investigator that we have.
Yeah, if only you cared at all about anything we did.
14 plus 7 is 8.
21, what did Nari get?
9.
9. 20, or 10, sorry. And then 24.
Going on.
He rolled a 16, he's got a plus 8 as well. And then 21 for Drake. So, Zareth, for the first couple days, is very, very quiet. And in fact, he doesn't sleep for the first 3 days. He just pilots the ship and gets you through as much of the space as possible. In fact, by doing so, he cuts he cuts a day, day and a half off of your travel time by just being at the helm 24/7. Allowing pretty much either he's awake or he and somebody else who is mapping it is awake. Because there are multiple
I'm gonna give him
people,
another 2 roll.
he does not accept it. There are multiple people here proficient with cartography's tools, so as things are going along, one of you is awake with him pretty much 24/7, mapping things out. And at one point, when...
Is the droid, the big robot, just walking behind us?
Oh, it is floating behind you, 24/7. It is always beside you. In fact, there are multiple encounters, not daily, but every other day or so there will be, some noise that is made, or you'll be spotted by some random creature, whether it be on the ground or a blue car from the sky, and pretty much none of you guys have to do anything. The thing just immediately takes things out of the sky. It will fly above the ship and catch blue car before they land. And never speaks a word, never does anything, never says anything, just kills anything that isn't you guys that approaches the ship.
And we don't have permission to get on it, right?
No, you do not. You could make an attempt if you wanted to, but Prometheus merely said that it is following you and protecting you.
Nari's gonna keep her eye on it as much as possible and switch shifts with someone, but she wants someone to keep an eye on it.
Okay.
As much of a mindfucker as Prometheus was, so I don't like the idea that he is a...
I'm just
Very
gonna say,
powerful.
Warden, every single day, Warden has tried to take at least one new analysis at it, and
Okay.
just kind of size it up.
What's your intelligence modifier? It's only a +1, correct? Or it's a 0?
My intelligence itself is 0.
you physically cannot roll high enough to properly estimate the Ace of Tron's capabilities.
Damn.
In fact,
What about my passive insight?
it's not insight.
What about my passive perception? Watching you fight.
It'll do you a little bit, but even then, that's not high enough. The CV's nuts. So,
Imagine it flying over the ship.
Zareth?
Used to
Zareth is not necessarily pouting, but he is by far and away disappointed by the outcome of the conversation with Prometheus. And does not seem super keen to socialize. He did sign. He does not seem super keen to socialize with pretty
Wait, he
much any
signed?
of you. Yes, he did.
So he's
He's stuck.
Oh, why did he didn't have to?
Yeah, he did.
Kind of.
We really didn't have a choice.
You kind of had a choice, but it's the kind of choice of
Do
No,
you
like,
want to get
but he's
killed
just our
by
driver.
this giant thing up here?
Hold on, he's just our driver though. He didn't.
He's about to be our driver for another, like, couple months to a couple years.
Zareth has
I guess
the
that's
best insight of the party. And he did not believe he had a choice.
Mm.
So he signed. Now that doesn't mean he has to be buddy-buddy with you and stick with you.
It
He
just
can go
means
in
in 2 years he'll die if you don't complete the
7
mission.
months.
I was
Or
gonna say, it
six months from the point that you guys are released from your collars.
Yes.
So that doesn't mean he has to do it with you guys. That does mean that he can go and attempt to, on his own, acquire one of said items.
With Nibs' knowledge of books and laws and contracts and things, he has rewritten out the contract based off of his knowledge and has been studying it in detail.
Okay.
What would he need to roll to figure out if the specific wording around the collars?
There is very little specific wording on the colors.
Correct.
The line that is said, I'll try and put it in legalistic terms, but pretty much it's saying
As
upon,
a group, when they're off.
upon release of those who are collared, a timer of 6 months begin for them to retrieve and return these said items to the fold into the Overkeep Mountains, to either me or one of my colleagues.
Okay.
I love time missions.
So, if Nibs' read of it, technically speaking, since it's a magically binding contract, correct? It will be enforced regardless of his interaction with us, correct?
It appears so, yes.
Okay. As long as one of us continues to wear the collar, it won't start the timer.
If that's how you worded it.
Upon
It was
direct wording, yes. You do not know if the contract is written up
Is
to where
that
it is.
insight?
I would say go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Because here's the other thing. We can all get released, but Trix still has his collar on too, right?
Drake does have a collar.
He's under a
he's
completely
gonna-
different.
Yeah, he'll get it off as soon as we get back with this mission.
Well, yeah,
Oh, is
he'll
that
get
what
it
it
off.
is?
Yeah, he
Okay.
was a short term.
Yeah.
That is 26.
No.
You do
it's
not
a
know.
lower. Well, Warden knows that it's a lower level collar.
No, because the collar that you examined was an empty collar.
Oh, shit.
You only
right.
examined your collar and a collar from Nibs' bag. You have not examined any other collars yet.
Fuck, that's right.
What do you roll?
Wait, but that was one of the
26.
collars.
6? You rolled an 18.
26.
You rolled an 18?
Yes.
Why do you always roll well on these insight checks?
Because this is legalese. This is what Nibs is about. Splitting
Well,
hairs
yes,
and
but
being
he's only
racist
got a
prick.
plus 8. You gotta roll a 2 at some point for this.
Oh,
Um,
well, why
so-
did
Not
I?
today, motherfucker.
With a
Cool,
26,
let's have big noses. Oh, wait, have a snout.
you have the idea that,
So you can
according to a
you can
devil's contract, it is by the book, by the words. Because there are other devils that are specifically reigning over them, checking them, and will take a pit fiend and put them to the level of an imp if they do not follow their contract to the precise wording. Those are the contracts you know of. This is not a devil. You are certain of that. While there is such a thing as legal binding, you do not fully comprehend the power that Prometheus holds.
Correct.
With a 26 insight, you have the feeling that if Prometheus wanted to fuck you over and leave the document open-ended to where he could edit it at any time, he probably could.
Outside of the, would his power, could he modify the contract?
As long as you guys are still in the fold, the modifications would hold. But as soon as you're outside of the fold, any magical communications to the arc, to the weave itself, because that's what is holding this thing together. It's not a devil's power, it's not some phase capabilities.
It's
it is the weave itself that is holding it together. So, once you guys leave the fold, there is no possibility for the weave to regain that communication line.
Until we go back in.
Until you re-enter the fold. So, up until this point, you would guess that as soon as your collars come off, but it's hard to really approximate. If you guys are like a year out and you still haven't gotten your collars off, the weave will auto-correct. Or maybe even shorter. You don't know. But he expects it to be a certain amount of time. He doesn't expect it to take you guys more than a month to get your collars off from the moment you leave the fold.
So it's not what it says, it's his intention.
It is somewhat based on intent, yes.
Okay.
Warden, you were flailing around
Yeah.
like a retard.
I mean, I am autistic. This is just kind of random tidbit question. So the weave inside the fold is extremely dense, correct?
Very dense.
Which is also why we're leveling up so fast.
Yes.
Does that mean Warden's kind of like supercharging? With how
In
you
some
explain
regards,
it?
yes.
In some regards,
As
yes.
long as you are still resting and not expending energy. So if you're spending 4 hours in, your
Okay.
Sentinel,
Yeah, I mean that's I'm kind of
you're regaining multiple
But
days
as
of
you
charge.
said, I kind of had 14,000 years of charging.
Yeah, and like you've been living, 20 or so years, so it's not like you haven't expended quite a bit of that because you don't really charge every night. But there's a reason why you don't have to sleep.
Or
He
recharge.
just doesn't know it is.
Well, actually, I
Kinda
do
knows
now.
So
It was
Nibs
something
will
that
write his
I had mentally
speculation
had a conversation
in the
with.
paired journal that he had given to Nari
Oh, and I
about
don't need to recharge.
since she's not talking to him, and he's like, "Look, please tell Nari that Nibs thinks that the contract," and he's literally going to say that, and right in the paired journal he gave her about his perception of this. If this was with this demon, I think we could loophole it, but with him, and the fact that he can get in our minds whenever he wants, we probably shouldn't risk it. He'll modify the contract. We need to be faithful to this contract. And he's like, "Thank you, book, for telling her this."
Also, Nibs. How many days does Nibs go before checking back in with his Azure Sky paired
I
journal?
can't check until I go back out.
Yeah.
You told me I gave
The
him
fold,
the paired
you
journal.
can't communicate
I
in the
can't.
fold.
You told me I cannot communicate.
Well, you can't communicate outside of the fold, but when do you next take a look at it? It's not when do you next write in it. When do you
Oh,
next
you
take a
mean
look
because
at
we
it.
took it out?
Because you took it out, any messages coming in would also be uploaded.
Oh, that first day, the first night.
First day. So the first night, you receive messages, and it says, "Attention Group 3. Groups 1, 2, and 4 have not been completely disorganized, but Groups 1 have been sold to the wrong bidder, and at this point are being hunted by the huntsmen as they have attempted to break free of their collars. Group 2 banded with a group of shapeshifters, and were eliminated about a week ago. Group 4 is undetermined. We have not heard from them.
Are we 4?
You are Group 3.
What
And
did
you
Group
have
3
not been giving... You guys are Group 3.
What did it say about Group 3? Disorganized?
No, it said nothing about Group 3 because you guys have not really reported in for quite a while.
But one of the groups was the shifters that we.
Groups
Now,
would
recognize,
paired up with.
you guys knew all the people and you did not find a familiar body with them.
We knew all the people coming in?
All of you guys you guys traveled in a cart and there were 20 of you. In a pair of carts, you all traveled together and then boarded one boat all together.
So we
and
know
sailed
the
across
faces
it.
of the other
You know the
Gotcha.
faces, not necessarily personally know, but you know the faces of every consortio operative that was coming over here.
I'm going to...
So we weren't the only ones sold to the wrong bidder.
I'm going to toss the
Right.
book to you. I'm going to make eye contact and toss this to you.
Me?
Yep. Do it. And it's just say, they weren't with the group of shifters we found. That means there was another group.
So kind of.
Wait, but the
That's good news then.
consortium hasn't confirmed yet that we've been sold to the wrong bidder.
You guys have not communicated a ton back to them. You have communicated a little bit, but they did not give a report to you guys about yourselves because that's kind of
Yeah.
redundant. So they gave you a report on the other parties.
But they didn't tell us whether we were sold.
Oh,
Anyways,
we know.
We know we were sold to the wrong
Yeah.
person. But we got purchased by
Or at
the
least when you were sold to this person, maybe this side wasn't
person.
held
Nori's
up
gonna,
of the bargain.
write
Not
back
yet.
to
we don't really
Nibs,
know.
and basically be like, look, no shit, Sherlock.
Pass it on to what's his nuts.
Yeah, something like that, sure.
Nibble my nuts.
to Queasy.
Alright,
Nibs.
I'll pull the other one out and look at it.
Actually, no. I'm gonna call you Nibs because most of the time I call you Queasy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so over this extended period of time, you guys come across a few interesting things. One particularly being, you guys do find a field that appears to be some kind of orchard with growing trees.
Or dabs. I'm just kidding.
Dabs or naps?
Dabs.
Yeah. Okay.
With
Found trees.
active, like, dark purple, like plums. They're not plums, but they seem similar to it. Just dark purplish fruit, all just growing from an orchard that seems to have survived inside the fold.
Can we check out the trees, the wood,
Yeah, let's
and
check
see
it
if
out.
there's some kind of special material, or if the surrounding magic has leached into the wood and it's something
Dark wood.
magical or something like that?
You can go ahead and roll
I would like to inspect the fruit.
either a Arcana check.
Unfortunately,
Or a
dark wood is
history.
no longer useful to me.
I want to check the fruit, not the wood.
You want to check the fruit? That's still an Arcana.
Well, flesh my face. I think I can't see what that is.
Dark wood is no longer useful to me because I don't have a dark wood core like other Warforged. My core is
I rolled a
literally
17.
ancient technology.
17.
17.
That's sad.
So on the
It
fruit,
is so sad. Crusts.
Yeah.
you would say that this kind of fruit, it is similar to that of almost a necrotic orange. You don't necessarily know if it's edible, but looking at it, it is very, very intriguing. Did you roll Arcana or History?
Arcana.
Arcana. So in terms of the magical foundations of something of this sort, you have absolutely no idea what would cause this. The debate.
I forgot to take my pill.
Well,
Otherwise, I would have seen it tonight.
Okay.
Probably
Can I climb a tree and get a bird's eye view?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, that'd be perception, right?
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception.
I'm gonna collect some of the fruit too.
You're gonna collect some of the fruit.
Enjoy it.
Okay, you can go ahead and roll a medicine check for me. What did you say, Jade?
14.
14.
Do I think
It is a flat, plain orchard.
Medicine check. Gross.
When Nibs tries to cut the wood, is it hard? Or does it act like standard wood?
If you slide a dagger across it, it is like trying to take a box cutter and slide it across tape. It just slides directly through it. Absolutely
wood?
zero resistance. Yes, the wood.
Definitely not dark wood.
So when I climb it, the trees don't break.
The tree does not break.
Not break.
When they bend, when you're on like a branch that you would feel like it would bend, rather than it being like creaking as it's bending, it's more like holding onto a pool noodle.
Oh,
It's like kind
That's
of
what you
slimy
said.
tree.
Yeah.
Is it like very full of liquid?
It does not feel full of liquid. No.
So,
I would like to take
medicine
some of that.
or herbalism?
Herbalism technically is more online here. I just forgot that you had that kind of check to make.
Okay. Then I got a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. This is entirely unlike anything you have ever seen before. You would guess that this is probably some evolved descendant of, just an apple or orange or plum or something orchard. But since it has been twisted in this dark place, no sunlight for so long, you would guess that this area is druidic hollowed ground that protected the trees, but due to lack of sunlight, over time they were slowly darkened, and a necrotic manifestation appeared and just messed with the trees and the fruits. You would say this fruit's probably actually edible. Probably not going to taste the best, but it is edible.
You eat it?
It is disgusting. So you pull it out and you eat it, and it's not like there's maggots living inside of it, but it tastes as though there was.
I'm gonna, take a couple fruit.
Are there any small predators that we run into, like
No.
mice, rats?
You run into 0 living creatures all in this orchard.
Over 10 days, how many rations are used between all 6 of us?
Between all 6 of you, I mean, a pack of rations is 1 day's.
That's true.
I
So
think it's 1
6
6
times. Well, actually, no, minus me. So 5 times 10.
Zareth does have his own, so.
Oh, Zareth has his own. So
6. 35. Nibs eats a lot.
yeah, we'll
No.
say 6 times 10, just because Nibs ate more than he's supposed to. Does that include?
And we're feeding to your white one. Did you roll your white
I
one?
did, but he never said if it woke up or not.
6 days into your journey, the wyvern's eyes open.
How big is the wyvern?
The wyvern at this point is about the size of a German Shepherd.
So it's as big as him now.
It is larger than him now.
It's bigger than him now.
It's the size. It's a big one.
Nice.
Yeah. Would you say that you keep it below or above deck?
For the most part, I'd probably keep it below deck. Especially since it's just been sleeping.
Pause for 2 seconds. Does anyone else have rations on them? Because 60 packets of rations would completely drain me. And I was carrying all of the extra rations that we had.
You have all of the rations.
Bag of holding. Right?
Yeah.
well, if we've only used how
One
many
a day between 6 of us. Well, minus me, but
how many days?
10 days.
Oh well, I have 0 rations then.
60. But how many did you have?
10.
You had 10? So that means I can save at least 10. Nibs, did you actually eat 2 a day, or did I would help you? No, I would help you.
Zareth,
So
I
used
would say
40.
you can add another 10 back, as Zareth will be using a Goodberry.
So, that means only 30
Oh, I
rations.
have 5. I don't know where I got those.
That means I used 25 rations.
That'll be
I have one
Technic-
ration. I forget they exist, honestly.
I've got 10 as well.
I figured it would be narratively important since we literally cannot find food inside of the, or as far as we know, inside of the,
Well, we have multiple druids. They can just make us berries. Unless they're bad druids.
I mean, Zareth has good berries. I don't know about everyone else.
Do you have good berry?
Oh,
bad druid.
I do not.
Bad druid.
Bad druid.
I know he
There's
doesn't
Nyx.
have good berry.
No, I don't have good berry. I'm not into that nature shit. I'm into dragons.
Well, then in that case, I think we should all grab some of this fruit.
Well, Zareth can feed you guys. He does have
What
enough.
is he going to?
I mean,
You would do one casting a day, and it creates 10 berries that feed you for a day.
Okay.
So if it comes to the point of rationing, he can survive on one spell slot. Everyone can.
Nibs has 10 rations plus food up his sleeve that's rotting.
I was gonna say, yeah, that food's not doing great, but it is edible.
Nibs will,
Should I just say that half the rations were used?
Yeah.
So I have 30 rations.
he has food for your white run. When it works.
Nice.
So,
So it just
Mikhail, at one point,
It woke up
During-
6
Jake,
days
Jake,
into it.
what do you have to say?
I was waiting for the Mikhail thing. I just had a good idea. How old are the trees? Do they look ancient?
yes.
I'm going to speak with plants.
Okay.
Men of time. Oh, you
That's
Mikhail.
a great idea, actually.
Okay, so you want to speak with plants.
It's just internally screaming.
Ah!
That's good for
Okay.
Man, Nibs is
So-
about burning the forest then.
Speak
Bad
with
mood.
plants. Speak with plants. Speak with plants. 3rd level spell. Okay, you can go ahead and cast that. How particular are you on which tree that you pick out?
I would like to find the most ancient one.
The most ancient one? Okay, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
How can you tell
Can
which
I
ones
help
are more
him?
ancient? They're all
Whichever's
14,000
bigger.
years old.
Alright,
You can roll your own if you want.
okay. That's an investigation?
What the?
Yep.
Okay.
They're all
My investigation is doing.
2,000 years old. How are you going to tell which one's older by 100 years?
If you get a 20 something, you might.
19.
19. Okay, so you don't necessarily find what you're certain to be the oldest, but you find the biggest tree.
That's a fair one.
I'm going to pretend I am 200% confident and just be like, it's definitely this one, man.
Roll deception.
He lied to me before, just to see. Yeah, he doesn't really care. He knows that you just BS things all the time, though. So he couldn't find anything better, so he's gonna go to it.
Okay. So as you go up to it, you cast Speak with Plants, and as you do, you just begin to hear a subtle, like, exhale moan. Just
That's not what I envisioned when you
Nah,
first said that. A groan? You mean
Oh,
not
no.
a...
He said moan.
That's
I did
not
say
the
moan.
same
He
thing,
did
my
say
friend.
moan.
they're similar enough.
No, it's not.
One is
We're currently loading, so I can't see anything.
Okay.
I'm distracted.
Okay, Jade, I do not. Do you want to turn off and turn back on your Discord? Like, leave and rejoin? Maybe your pictures will come back up then?
The trees are in with this darkness.
They're in a constant form of ecstasy.
That's one way of putting it.
Or they just have
Necrotically
pain
not
pains one or the
dying.
other.
The correct not dying.
Or, given the corruption, would it be a permanent form of ecstasy?
Damn.
Can you see things now, Jade?
One of the cameras is working, yes.
Okay.
We have one where I can see everyone right in front of me.
Okay. Sounds good. So, as you go up and you just hear this groan, this constant, like, struggling to breathe.
You know, alright?
What the fuck do you think?
Okay, I see. I'm assuming someone with your much discomfort.
What story's there to tell? I'm a tree in an orchard.
Why is he from Boston?
Why is he from Boston?
Because they got
Who's
attitude.
next to me?
What do you
Who's all
expect
these
from me?
little
I'm a
things?
tree in an orchard.
I'm a tree in an orchard.
Well, you see, we are a long ways away.
Shaves his beard.
So I have not seen a tree like you or any of the others before.
Neither have I.
Very. Well, were you before?
No, I just can't see.
Oh. Right.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck.
Sorry.
Snoop's one.
So, what happened? Are you all, that's not.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check, as the tree really doesn't seem to care for you.
The Boston tree is so sick of you already.
This is how annoying you are.
Yes, please.
Oh, my persuasion's +0.
Let's see what comes out of this.
Damn! You suck, man!
I have 0 charisma. Do I have negative charisma? I have 0.
Okay,
I'm good.
so as you're asking this, it just kind of doesn't respond, seemingly ignoring your previous question.
Okay, fine. Be honest with you. You're just exploring the land. You look like you're in a bad mood. Is there something we can do for you? We can try our best. Mostly just looking for information about, like, this land and all.
All I know is about a lot of non-seeable sun rotations ago, we had a caretaker, but now, nothing. And I want nothing more than my roots to be dug up.
Sweet.
So you want to know?
Want to die or be moved?
Whatever the hell you can make happen.
I'm gonna look over the rest of the party. These trees don't want to be here. These trees want to leave. They'd be really happy if we moved them.
What are we gonna do? Strap them to the sides of the fucking skiff?
We've got a robot, we can tie it to the...
They also kind of want to die. Oh, we can also burn them
Told
down.
us not to
That's
touch
really
that.
mean. I would prefer not to do that.
Let's not burn them down. How can we...
Wow, that's actually really brave coming from a fire Ganassi.
Okay.
Nips is gonna sigh, lean his head over, look over at you, and just kind of go, mutter under his breath. It's like, I know she's pissed, but come on. And I'm just gonna wander downstairs in the building. I'm like, if I can't burn them,
Mikhail's over here, lover's quarrel.
Yep. I'm just perpetuating my story.
which we haven't done anything.
Nobody has denied at this point.
Yeah, the only
That's true, nobody's
Yeah.
denied anything
Yeah.
either, technically.
I mean, and Nibs actually confessed that, hey, if things go a certain way, we're supposed to meet up in a hotel room.
Oh my god, I didn't think about that! Shit!
Yeah, he said it under the oath to avoid the rest of the conversation.
I didn't take it that way at all, but that's because I know what you and me talked about.
I know, but Nibs threw it out
Everyone
there.
else thinks you guys were planning a meeting.
Everyone else is seeing this image, and you're just over here, naive and distracted, going, "What? What's so weird about that, guys?"
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so do you guys have any plans for the trees?
If I can't burn them, I'll just go downstairs and go stare at your wyvern. Ooh, can we roll to see if this... What day did we find this? Before or after the wyvern?
This would have been before.
I want to ask Trek, or Nari wants to ask Trek, can you ask, or no, I guess he already asked. How are they being cared for?
They're not.
How were they? He said they had a caretaker. I'm assuming that you've relayed everything to us.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So then what happened? Like, how are they being taken care of? How are they surviving despite no light?
Was there a druid who's taken care of you before? Someone?
Yes.
This was
There was
I
a
got
druid.
this during last night. This is for
Dude, that sounds like
30s.
Morty.
Yes.
Sorry, I just realized it's your knee that I keep touching.
Is it just a flat yes? Like, the tree doesn't really know?
You asked a yes or no question, and it responded with a yes.
Who is taking care of you?
I don't know his name. I'm a tree. Why am I supposed to know my caretaker's name? He gave me some water, and he picked my fruit.
Did you have the same kinds of fruit then? Or were you, like, messed up to this thing?
What, you think I gave people fruit that is pretty much unedible?
It is now.
Shrek is over here like, oh my gosh, this tree has an attitude.
He just wants to know if, like, the trees have transformed in his lifetime or if he was born like this.
And you're getting sassy responses, okay?
I know, I hate it.
Is the druid actually
Here's
going
what
along
I'm trying to
with
ask.
it?
If it's a spell, and he's not going to say that he doesn't think it is, we might be able to undo it. And if you can tell me when and how you got so purple, we could figure things out.
When I got purple, I got no clue. It was a long time ago. What would help? Some photosynthesis.
Is he making fun of his list?
I really feel bad for this
Tree is a bitch, man. What a dick.
She's being meaner than any of his party members.
Literally.
I mean, Nimbus has been nice in
Not that.
comparison.
Recognize this is a tree that's lived in a product life for 14,000+ years. Of course it's not going to be a happy camper.
Well, we don't know how long it's been like this.
This is probably the first decent conversation he's had in 14,000 years.
Probably all of his neighbors are.
Probably the only one.
Well, he probably shut up the other trees.
Can you ask the tree? What's his name? Does it have a name?
What's your name?
Larry.
Hi.
Larry Daco.
Larry Darkover?
Darko.
Darko. Larry Darko. Okay, that's actually good.
So it is a Darkwood. What the fuck?
Oh, my
What
God.
I
You
was before I
ask
changed.
Mr.
Oh, hey, Warden, do you have like a light ray? Something.
See, the thing is, if we do light, then that would attract the monsters to us.
But we have the big monster killer.
This is true.
That would be fine.
Okay, we give him like a little bit of actual ecstasy for like
You give him
what,
sunlight.
an hour.
So
I
we're
was
gonna
gonna
stop and
say,
shine
we could
the
do
sun.
a ring of daylight, we could give them light, but at the same time, it's not gonna ease their
But
suffering
how many
at all.
charges does the Ring of Daylight have?
One
One.
day.
Per day.
He's
Do
got
I know if I
mine.
have something that gets rid of necrotic damage
thought you
that
took it
would
back.
undo its effect a little bit?
You have no clue, bro. Do something and
I
try.
didn't see you put it in your pocket.
So I technically do have
I was
the
upstairs.
aura of life,
It
but I
just
do not
disappeared.
have it prepared.
Because I still,
So
I mean,
you're out of
I
luck
didn't-
with as far as like things
get
I
to
can
search
do.
you because I tried to see what was on you, but you woke up. And
Aura of life negates
I
necrotic
did
damage.
not. I did not get to the ring back when I woke you up.
IDJ, what you doing?
Ask the tree what it needs most.
Does
It
it
needs
want
to
more
sit
to
down.
die, or
Does it want to die? And we can give it an honorable death. Or
How do you honorably murder a tree?
that's not.
If it can last 6 months, we're gonna drop this thing.
or just burn it?
Oh my gosh, this could be such a good character party builder thing. After all of this, we have to come back and make sure Larry's okay after we're done with all of our, and we're taking everything out of the, all the magic out of here.
My name is Frank, Larry, and I know you don't know what that means. My name's Drake.
Sure, it's gonna be Frank.
Listen,
My name's Larry, not Frank.
if we kill you and all your friends. Option 2, you'll hold on for 6 more months, and the sun will come back. Because we'll fix it.
I don't give a fuck. I'm living here, alright? You do what you do.
But you don't care if you live or die? I'm adopting your accent now.
I'm older than anything you've ever met before.
Actually, yeah, he would be older than Prometheus. Well, would he? I'm lost.
You have no clue, but the tree has like an intelligence of 3. He has no clue if he's actually older,
Than most plants.
which is far more intelligent than most plants.
I didn't think about plants having intelligence. That's so funny.
He probably actually has an intelligence score of 1, if we're gonna be honest. But he can talk.
You can spell.
Well, speak with plants, you can communicate.
You do what you gotta do. I'ma live my life and you live yours.
Damn.
The thing is, my life interact with yours.
Black woman.
I want your preference, or else I'm just gonna burn all you.
Can we get the...
Little pointers.
At this
Well,
point,
No, not burn.
at this point, he does not respond.
He's a wildfire druid. He's into burning things too.
Nari is disturbed by purposely hurting nature. Like, visibly disturbed.
Well, the trick is too, he literally doesn't want to do it. He's just threatening the trees so that he'll talk, and
But
the trees stop talking.
technically,
DM, why are we talking to the tree for so
Hold on,
long?
technically,
We got shit to do.
fire
We got a
is
freaking wyvern that hatched.
fire's an
2 days in the
honorable
future.
death for a tree
But
because
would
it-
fire hurt?
No, fire burns down the tree, but that's the way a lot of trees let out saplings and seeds.
Yes, but it's full of necrotic. We can either cook them and
What would we cook?
just burn them. Cook those little fruits and watch them sizzle.
Alright, so Drake's...
Drake gets no response.
I think Dibs wants to stick one of those.
Well, at this point, your spell has ran out of time.
Alright, he's just sad now. He's not bad or depressed plant.
Dude, can I have a built-in microwave? That'd be so
No.
funny.
No, it's just like, oh, your meat's a little cold? Alright.
You're like, what?
Okay, so does Drake look to do
Dishwasher
anything?
robot from robots.
He's gonna leave it up to the party. Probably just gonna leave them for 6 months. Fix their situation. It'll be better. But for now, Drake's really sad.
Man, okay, if we could finally move on from talking to trees.
Nari is also going to be kind of depressed and dejected a little bit, but is
So
determined,
but for different reasons.
but is determined to come back and check on the state of this. So I'm gonna like note where I am right now
Okay.
because I would like to come back and check.
You guys
on
are literally mapping the place out, so you're gonna have a pretty good idea of
I
where you
will
were.
come back.
We literally draw like an orchard.
And with one big tree and
Larry.
just fall at Larry's Grove.
Larry's Grove.
Nice. But here's the thing. Drake knows plant. The plant is depressed most of its life. And then suddenly has a reason to be happy. It might still be depressed no matter what happens. So he doesn't think it's ever gonna get fixed attitude-wise, even if it's technically happier.
So, going from there, next up, the wyvern. So at one point, I would say actually while you are sleeping, at one point you're sleeping in a hammock, you have the wyvern kind of set off to the side. What exactly have you been doing when you are not actively looking at the wyvern? Do you have like a cage or a corner set up for it, or just a comfortable sleeping pad?
I assume so. Nibs took all the blankets and pillows from the hotels. You remember?
He's just chilling.
When he's just chilling?
Well, Nibs would have wrapped. Nibs took all those pillows and blankets, so he made an egg nest for it.
Okay. He's got a little blanket for it then.
Okay.
As you should.
So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
What's your name?
It's Nibs awake.
A con save.
Go ahead and roll me a higher
That's my
level.
worst one.
He's checking on the wyvern.
12.
12. I was saying, do you want higher or
You
low?
rolled well.
17.
17? Okay. You feel a little, like, you know when a mosquito, like, bites through your clothes?
Yeah.
It's like, that, fuck you. You go ahead and take 1 point of piercing damage as you, like, wake up and look down, and this creature, 2 back legs, 2 winged arms, set there, has its tail curled up trying to wrap around you at this point.
No. Bad dog.
Go ahead and roll an animal handling.
Okay, I said hi, rerolled. 17.
17.
Why am I
Okay,
so bad
I would
at
say you are up
handling?
top,
No.
checking the mapping right now. So you are awake.
Damn, at least I can roll. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So you say no, and
No
this
bad dog. He said
Yeah.
no
Bad
bad
Bad dog.
Yeah.
So this creature kind of like backs up and goes back into its little warm corner that it woke up in, and is kind of front shoulders down, like ready to pounce, but is kind of like being defensive in the corner.
Good dog.
It kind of cocks its head to the side, and then kind of like regulates its posture and kind of plops down, sitting on its hip, just kind of like curiously looking at you.
Looks out a lot of food.
Shit, that was the sassiest fucking.
I'm going to go over to Nibs. Hey, Nibs. Nibs, wake up.
This is up top.
This is
mapping.
up top.
Oh, he's up top mapping?
Mhm.
Hey, you holler.
You could say telepathically.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him the Rocky Talkie and be like, hey, Nibs,
Alright?
I need some food. Dog woke up.
Okay. Boom! He just runs off, drops down the stairs. Boom! Lands. Looks up, sees him.
As soon as you drop down, like with haste, it kind of jumps up and runs into a little cabin in the back.
Little cabinet.
No, a cabin. Like there's cabins in.
Oh,
there's
there's
two
three
in the back.
cabins.
In fact, I would say that is where Nari is sleeping right now, and you get woken up as you are jumped on by a thing weighing about 60 pounds. As it just crushes into your stomach, no damage or anything, but it just jumps on the bed as it sees another warm place to sit, and just plops down on top of you.
Does it seem angry?
It doesn't seem angry, more scared and not realizing something is here.
Can I attempt to comfort it and give it like a little pet? Or
Go ahead and roll
like,
it.
Oh god.
Oh shit.
That is a 3.
And that's a 3.
So as soon as you like
That's not good.
move up in the slightest, it just kind of looks down at you and runs back into the cabin as it runs out and is attempting to climb up the stairs. But this is its first time really moving around at this size. And so as it's going up, it tries to leap and tries to flop its wings to go up, and it goes headfirst into a stair and locks itself out.
Nibs is gonna
Come over to you and be like,
Damn.
Nibs is gonna go over and it's 21 strength, and he'll take you back over to his old thing, and he's gonna take his, just start taking all the rotten meat,
Yeah.
just start, and he puts a pile about the size of him. So
Okay.
he empties the bag of all that food that he's been hauling around in there.
Okay.
And then he's gonna sit back and a few feet away and just stare at it.
Okay. It does not wake up again for another 2 days.
God damn it. Hella knocked itself out.
So
You get the idea that the sedative is still very much in its system, but kind of wearing off at this point. Anytime it goes to sleep, it's still gonna just be out. However, when it wakes up during the day when everyone is awake, and so you guys come down to it actively eating the piles of food.
good dog.
It kind of looks up at you again,
We'll smile real big when
Curious.
it looks at me.
and then just goes back to the food.
How intelligent is this?
What was I saying?
Right now, it has an intelligence of
Nibs is gonna.
4 is where animals become capable of communication. And so wyverns generally end at about 3. Most
Technically
creatures.
3. Like for being able to detect thoughts, if the creature
Yeah.
has an intelligence of 3 or lower, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But you'll be able to have a battle of wits with Larry.
So, Nibs is gonna ritual cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
It's an action, takes 10 minutes.
Okay. So you take 10 minutes to ritual cast Speak with Animals, and you hear whimpering. You hear?
While he eats.
Yeah, like as it's eating, it's.
Nibs is going to just start a kind of a humming song of
Okay.
comfort to it, and project safety, thoughts of safety, of belonging, of warmth, and as he begins to do this, he's going to wild shape into his dragon form, which will be about parity with it.
Yeah.
And as he continues to do that, once it's done eating, he's going to come up to it and try to, while doing this, circle around it, circle around the bed, kind of try to wrap it up, like another something familiar.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a performance check.
Zoinks.
Zoinks, dudes.
Does someone want to assist? I don't think you can.
What about the bard?
Go ahead and roll with Bardic Inspiration.
D6?
Nice.
D8 at this point.
Oh. Because I think you would like that.
What are you rolling?
Performance.
That is a 19.
19. Okay, so you begin kind of like humming an old draconic tune, and over time you slowly shift yourself into your draconic form, not really being able to hum the same way anymore,
But yeah.
but slowly moving over and trying to like wrap yourself around almost this creature. It does not seem aggressive at any point. In fact, it does seem to be getting calmer and calmer with the situation. However, it is predominantly focused on the food,
Yeah.
of which it does eat about 30 pounds of rotten meat in its one sitting.
Damn.
It's a wyvern.
You're
We're gonna have to feed it or dry. Or maybe a good.
Really good.
Too much acid.
Well, itself, wyverns are immune to poison damage.
Oh, you're right.
Not immune to acidic damage,
Clear with
but
the
immune to
dogs.
poison.
We got the stomachs.
Your toes.
We've got several. Well, I mean, we got hundreds of them.
Candles,
That
so
we
like,
can
keep
keep
track of
going.
it.
We could
Well, I was
harvest
like-
some of the best parts and then offer it to him because we're doing that.
Like, how much
Because
was
he's
so
going
we
to
have
eat
here
30,
to
40
come see
pounds a
you.
day.
Are we meat?
A meal, actually. Rude. So, all right. After he's done eating, does he calm down and sleep again?
Yes, he just goes back to sleep. And the very next afternoon, you guys finish your mapping. Due to Zareth sleeping so little, you guys are able to finish it in about 8.5, 9 days.
On. Actually.
How many days is it gonna take to get to the full?
You guys set it up to where you are within a day's travel of the Overkeep Mountains.
So we're a day away from the traveling.
Yes, you guys have 1 more day's of travel.
Warden looks very chipper and excited. Well,
We're
at
just
least
a day
if
away, is
anyone's
that what you
paying
said?
attention.
Yes.
That is awesome.
He's actually humming a tune while tinkering away.
I would like to cast Detect Thoughts on Zareth.
Okay. So you go ahead and
Stop!
cast Detect Thoughts. You're just wanting surface level thoughts.
At the moment, yes.
Okay.
With all the
what-
excitement about
with all the excitement about this?
Yes, as everybody's like talking about it, Warden's getting all chippery, we're getting closer to the...
Well, I'm getting chippery because I get to go, like, meet
Well, I know,
people.
I know. As we're heading closer to the mountains. Those
You
are
gain an intense sense of curiosity. Or you sense an intense sense of curiosity. When you're doing detect thoughts, it's very much the emotion that you get. Not necessarily exactly what he's thinking at all times.
Yeah.
But he is very much curious. He's not ecstatic like Warden is, but he is...
But is he still like angry that he's been roped into this?
Oh, he's pissed. He is very, very angry about the situation he has caught himself in. And I would say you sense, however, that it is not necessarily directed at you guys. It's kind of more directed towards everything, towards life, towards his
So
existence.
he's having an existential crisis.
He's having a bit of an existential crisis. He already, you kind of sense, has never really been the super lucky type. Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
If I could roll today, that'd be great. Insight. You said insight? 14.
14. Zareth seems so apprehensive towards the idea of working with a group. You would say there had to have been some issue in the past with him working in a group. That makes him so apprehensive towards it.
His whole party died.
Or a party screwed him over that he brought in.
And so, due to all of those other things, he seems just apprehensive to the idea of working with other people for an extended period of time. That's why he hires himself off as a driver. Only have to work with people for a month. Get paid
Wow.
quite a sum.
I'm gonna go up to him while we're approaching. I'm gonna strike up a conversation. Basically, I'm gonna start off, and I'm gonna personally make an apology. Nari's gonna go up and say that, you know, you've been mighty quiet the past several days as we've been journeying. I realize this was not the situation you thought you were going to end up in. And frankly, I didn't want anybody else in it already, beyond the forward we started with, and I'm sorry that you got caught up in all of this.
Okay, and you ask him this while your detect thoughts is running?
Yeah.
So as you're talking to him, at first he's very blocked off, kind of putting up walls. But he kind of loosens up after no matter what you say, and he just kind of responds, "Well, we all signed at this point. We're kind of stuck."
Yes. That we are.
I'll have us at the Overkeep Mountains by the morning. Hopefully we'll get some more answers then.
Do you need some rest?
And I can last.
Very well.
This work.
One last thing. Every day I have been using Fabricate to add reinforcements and such to the ship, and also taking recommendations from Zareth.
Okay.
Because I did say I would improve the ship, so...
At this point, the ship is vastly improved.
Nice!
And
Like the latches on the door won't get, like, ripped open or anything like
yeah,
that.
the hinges
like,
aren't as easy to tear off. They still can be if the creature's strong enough, but it has to be much, much stronger than what you dealt with
like,
the lanterns.
everything is like, it's almost over-reinforced at this point.
You have placed steel and iron reinforcements both inside and on the outside of pretty much every plank connection on the ship. And it looks more metal than wood at this point. The mast has also been reinforced with iron.
I love Fabricate. I can do something in 10 minutes, which previously took an hour.
So, one question for you. Let me look at
Does that slow
fabrication.
down our ship?
Does it slow down the ship? No.
Hell
It's
yeah.
magic.
It's magic.
Now, there was some iron and such, but you have to have the raw materials.
I mean, I have a fair amount of.
You have a fair amount, but you literally get to the point where you can no longer work on it because you no longer have
Yeah,
raw iron or
I've
metal. of
I've
any kind.
pretty much cleaned myself out of steel.
Yes, that's for sure.
Okay, sounds good. I figured that would be the case.
Also, as we're getting closer, I'm going to take out the little journal between Nibs and I. And I'm just going to write... I have 2 questions. I'm going to write this. I have 2 questions. First, why the sudden protectiveness over Warden? And second, why are you really here?
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna not even look at him, pretend I didn't even see him.
Okay.
You know, just as we're approaching and gonna interact with Prometheus again, I'd really like to kind of rouse him out.
Nibs will answer. I'll answer them, and he answers them in reverse order. Why I'm here. I work, as you know, I work for the Azure Library, correct?
Yes, the intro set up.
Which you are familiar with. I was assigned this mission in cooperation with your organization. I am here to remove the collars. That is what I was ordered to figure out how to do. That was my mission. However, if they give me orders to change things, they also wanted me to document and make contact with people who they could glean information for or make good arrangements with. Because that was my secondary mission. Now as for Warden. I didn't lie to you the other night. Warden is special in a way that defies us. We are the ancestors of creatures that defy the gods. His existence defies the gods. But yet, he came about in such a and then it's kind of scratched, there's line through it goes, I understand nature, I understand bloodlines, I understand magic in those regards. I've made it my life's work to understand the internals of people and of animals, and of the superiority that is inherent to certain races. And yet, I mean, you can't deny. I mean, especially in D&D world, there are there are races that are better than others. No one believes certain races. And he's like, but he is on parity with us, and possibly on a path to greater greatness in his line than in ours. You come from the Jinn, I come from the Dragons. And one only has to look above us to see the beginnings of the possibilities of what he and his kind would become. He's quiet and moves. The gods never done me any favors. In fact, they've gone out of their way to hindered me in my work my whole life. I have no love for them. So anything that is not going to be chained by their will, we're all nothing but slaves, and only those that ascend can be free. That is my goal. This is to be free.
I roll insight to see how much I can believe him.
Go ahead and roll your insight.
He's like, I just.
I guess that's fair. He was writing. Can I do that?
Well, you read it later, but it's...
You read it later. What is your insight bonus?
I think it's 0.
On the die.
Insight is 0.
You sense no reason for him to be lying to you right now.
He will make a notation. After a moment, he'll make a note and go, Mike 2 defies the gods.
Mike 2 defies the gods.
Mike also, yeah, in addition, he defies the gods. That's all he says.
Alright, question mark?
I think the funniest part about all of that is that Warden literally serves a god,
Yes.
but it's probably in all senses of what the god I serve is the only god that would actually be genuinely interested in the fact that something of my making is actually interested in him, because it's gone. The god of the forge.
Yeah.
I am literally made of
Fire and...
the forge.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah. So that's what he writes. So...
Nari's feeling more back to normal with you. A little bit. She'll start making quips again.
I'm gonna go up to Zareth and kind of just stand beside him and just stare deeply into his eyes, not saying anything. I'm just going to kind of stand there and stare at him.
After about 15 to 20 seconds of you staring there, you just hear him... Let me check something real quick. Yeah, you just hear him say, I could at least bring you some fucking food if you're just gonna look at me like that.
I'm going to just continue staring for like another 15 to 20 seconds, and then I'm going to just extend one of the fruits that we picked from the trees.
No!
And I'm still just like staring straight at him.
Who else is on the deck at this point, did we say?
If you're up here, Nibs is down there with your guy, watching the weather.
I'm taking my shift watching the automaton, so I'm upstairs.
Okay, so as you hand him the fruit, he looks at it, he kind of takes a finger and pries it open and looks inside. And then takes it real quick, and Nari, you just feel the back of your legs get splashed with this nasty fruit as he just yeets it at the deck as hard as he can.
Do I feel like he was aiming at me?
Yes.
Sarah threw the fruit at her?
Yeah.
Why did you offer him the nasty fruit?
I didn't offer the nasty fruit. He
Miguel
did.
did.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to continue staring at him and studying him.
Nari is
Oh,
gonna
you
turn
fucker.
around.
He took cast protection from good and evil on himself.
I'll be honest, his response, when he does this, we know what it means. We know, the four of us know what this means. But he just didn't give us any reason whatsoever not to interfere.
Nari is gonna take whatever's left of the fruit and throw it at Mike. And her eyes are like flaming. You can see like the veins are just like all starting to glow. Like she's
You
really
recognize that
pissed.
it happened.
Do you actually hit me? Or do you
I was gonna say, do I need to roll for if I hit him?
I would say you probably don't. It like splatters right beside him.
You know what would be really funny? is if you like walk behind Zareth and then shapeshift into Prometheus. Just to fuck
So,
with it.
Mikhail, after more time of you doing this, he pulls out a dagger, slams it in the deck in front of him, and begins drawing symbols on it as he is drawing Thieves' Camp. Symbols to you. And it literally just spells out what the fuck.
I'm gonna go up to Sarah.
How long has he been until he does that?
About a minute and a half.
That's not what I wanted.
Long
I'm
part
gonna
of
give
the
Sarah 20 gold.
Okay.
You just walk up and hand him 20 gold.
Zareth looks to you and strike. Why do you keep offering me gold? There is zero
Giving you
reason.
gold with, like, the scale to the amount of pain that I think that you're feeling.
We
I
are
have lost so much of a mental capability by being with you guys for this 3 weeks, almost at this point, or 2 weeks at this point. At this point, no amount of gold can repair my mental damages.
Nice move. Like she's holding in a laugh really hard. And she's gonna turn around and walk back towards the automaton, trying to not.
Well, Warden's
Yes.
been sitting on the other side of on the complete other end, towards the front. And out of his bag of holding, he's going to take out a couple of the flowers that he saw in Don Turum that he thought were really pretty, and he's going to analyze them.
Okay.
What happens
He's gonna
when I...
analyze
No,
flowers
there's
right
a
now?
bag of holding.
Yeah, there's still decay in the bag of holding.
Oh, shit. Well, he's just going to look at them and see if, like, the atmosphere had any effect on it, but also kind of just, like, admire its now wilted beauty.
It has wilted beauty, but it is very, very much wilted.
People are fighting. I'm gonna take out a little flower and I'm gonna look at it. And I'm gonna be like, this is a pretty flower.
Even though it's rotted.
Even though it's rotted.
What did you say, Jade?
Is Sarah accepting any amount of money?
No.
Alright, then Trek is finally gonna be like, fine. I'm gonna give him a potion of healing and leave.
Zai mage hands and takes all your gold.
Oh yeah, he definitely would do that.
He might. We can talk about him with doing that next session. Either way, so you leave a potion of healing. Zareth does pocket that.
I'm just gonna kind of walk around him to the other side and then just continue staring at him from that side.
Okay. After a period of time, I would say another couple minutes, Zareth looks towards you and says, Mikhail, if you do not step away, I will shoot you with my crossbow.
Does that have
I take
genuine
one
ill
step
intent?
back.
What?
Does that have genuine ill intent?
Yes.
I take one step back.
There is a genuine, intense sense of annoyance coming from Zareth.
But like intent to genuinely harm him.
Oh, he will shoot. He's not going to shoot to kill, but he will hurt him.
Well, I'm on the other side of the ship, but I am very heavy and not very stealthy. Warden immediately stands up and then looks at Zareth.
So as you stand up, Zareth immediately locks eyes with you across. I'm not going to kill him, Mr. Metal Dude. You can heal him up after I'm done with him.
Alright, take a shot. I, for one, would like to see you guys have some fun. I can take reins for a little bit if y'all want to do a little.
So because it's automatic, Warden kind of shifts his gaze behind him to you, and to you, and you just hear the automated voice say, "Threat level indicated. Be advised. Do not engage."
Oh, you said
It's an automatic. It's my threat level detector.
Okay.
So while this is going on,
Oh my gosh.
Nibs is gonna cast Respawn on the wyvern.
What?
Of course he will.
Dragon Brothers.
Where are you getting this spell from?
First level Respawn.
Dragon Wyvern is not a beast.
Establish a telepathic link with one beast you touch that is friendly to you or you or charmed by you. If the spell fails, if the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, until the spell ends, the link is active with you.
Okay.
It's only a 10-minute thing, but I want to communicate again with the beast in good vibes. I'm your friend. Your name is Dog.
Your name is Dog.
Goodbye. Go ahead
Name is
and
Dog.
roll me a animal handling.
Alright, then I'll hit him with animal friendship first.
Okay. He is going to roll the saving throw.
With 16.
Wyvern is not a beast.
No, he is.
Jade is saying a wyvern is not a beast.
Yeah, it's a dragon type.
That is technically true.
But its intelligence is under 4.
Yes, but it is specifically for beasts.
Right, so
Well, is animal friendship only good on animals because it's not a beast?
I'm checking stuff. The reason why it specifies that is because there is higher level spells that branch out and can communicate with more types. That's why I'm looking it up real quick.
I think it's hilarious. I think you should totally do it.
Well, speak with animals, it counts as beasts or animals, right?
Honestly, even though it doesn't, I'll let you do it. It's not that big a deal.
Nice.
So I cast it to be friends, and then I do beast bond to just have 10 minutes of telepathic communication with it.
Okay. And it can only communicate concepts and emotions,
Yes.
not words.
So it only lasts 10 minutes. It's not something I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to let it know that I'm friendly. His name is Dog, and the two that feed it is him and me, and by his smell.
Okay.
So
I'm
just doing that.
Yeah, you're expanding its knowledge of whose mouth not to use.
So back upstairs.
Yeah, back upstairs. So, coming in the next morning, what are you showing
He's
everyone?
showing off his armor class.
What is it, 22? 25?
Because I integrated the armor of cold resistance.
How does that buff your AC that much? Weren't you already wearing plate?
My base heavy armored integration is 60.
Okay.
So I gained 2 more AC,
Plus a +1 shield.
plus a +1 shield, plus my dex modifier, which is my integrated protection, and plus my soul of the forge.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to hit you.
Royal.
He is the tank of the party.
Then you need to roll better initiative than you've been rolling, so that you can actually go first instead of going last every
You
time.
just gotta be in between your party and the combat.
Everyone, it's fine. He rolls last. We all run behind him.
Yeah, that's our one thing. Initiative. I'm gonna hide behind Warden.
Literally everyone just hides behind him. Just give George the
Yeah, like lines up on either side.
You know,
Does your attacks.
if I take the shield master feat next, then technically I can absorb the fireball.
Yeah. Well, some of it.
Shield master, if I
No, you just need to go into Oath of the Ancients Paladin so that you can get at 7th level in that and just have an aura that says no to magic damage.
well, there's a feat, I think it's shield master, where if you succeed on a saving throw, you, instead of taking half damage, you take no damage.
Well, yeah, you'd survive the...
But anyway, so you take 2 more steps back and you stare at him. I just continue staring.
You continue staring at
But
him.
you step back.
I step back though. Can I roll an insight to see if he is still visibly as angry?
Go ahead and roll an insight.
Oh, no, I don't know. 11.
Fight!
He is so friendly, bro. You took that step back, and he no longer feels like you're in his personal space. You're fine to just keep staring at this dude who was incredibly hostile with you 30 seconds ago.
Nari's like, I want to see a fight.
Nari's like, let's see some action.
After a bit of time, you see he does begin to unsling his heavy crossbow.
I'm gonna start standing directly behind him. One step further, though.
One step further directly behind him?
Yep.
Okay.
How long has it been at this point?
It's been about 4 minutes. How long does it take for you to integrate on it?
I think 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Damn, we got 6 minutes to go, bitches.
Does he have to be conscious?
Technically,
I mean, if he's knocked
And
out.
That's a great way to get your driver to want to actually kill you guys.
I'm just here.
I was gonna say, I have other ways of doing this too. They're just not as friendly. He hasn't slept this entire time.
He's slept a couple times because he wouldn't survive.
Yeah.
He physically couldn't survive. He's taken a couple long rests throughout this time, like 2 or 3. In fact, he is rested at this point. And at which case, as soon as you like step directly behind him, he's not okay with that, and he does pull out his heavy crossbow and is holding it at his hip, pointed towards you. And he says,
Are you 5 to 10 feet back now?
he's probably about 10 feet back. He said he was taking steps back. He was a couple feet away. He's taken like 4 steps back at this point. He's past 5 feet away. He's out of melee combat. Derek just points it at you and is like, I don't know what the hell you're doing right now, but I want you to stop.
You go, Mr. Gunslinger. Bow slinger? I don't know.
I am going to...
Is there any food left? Who has the food? No.
He's got quite a bit of food left.
You have rations as well.
He's been feeding himself with good berries.
No, I know, but he said if you're gonna be here, go get me some fucking food or something. And that's why I would go get food.
Okay.
That's my
So,
I mean, they
what
were
is
just
Mikhail
fighting
doing in
the
response
beast.
to that?
I'm at 5 minutes, you said?
Yes, right about.
Alright.
So I'm gonna
I'm
go
just
towards
gonna
him.
wink at him and then go ahead and start walking away.
Okay.
Guys, I just want to get to the fucking mountain so I can go meet Dr. Botherman.
He re-slings his heavy crossbow and goes back to guiding the ship.
Alright, so let a big sigh.
How tall is the platform that the steering wheel is on?
It is about 7 feet up from the base level.
And there's like his cabin directly underneath it, right?
Yes, there is kind of like a captain's cabin directly underneath it. It's not large, but it's what he's
Is it
been using.
locked?
Yes, it is locked.
Kid, if you build
Not anymore.
Now,
He can't
he
see you.
cannot see you. If I'm being technically correct here, he cannot see you if he's guiding the ship.
Bigot. Also, I can't.
Uh,
Got it good.
does it have like a door handle on it?
Yes.
I'm going to put my foot on the door handle and just slowly pull myself up so that I can peek through the railing, because it's an open railing, right?
Yes.
I'm just going to pull myself up and peek at him through
Peek
the
at him?
railing.
Are you gonna roll
But
stealth?
I'm going to do it as stealthy as I can.
Okay.
Can you imagine that it's like 2 minutes later and then he just looks down and just sees that you've been there the whole time?
Ooh.
What did you roll?
18.
18. Okay. As you peek up,
He shoots you in the forehead.
what's your AC?
What's your age?
16? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna roll some damage here.
Hey, this is different than shooting you in the foot. You said he can only see your head or your
He
fingers.
can see like the edge of your shoulder.
Well, he's just doing a Gilroy. Fingers
Oh
and
my
eyes.
gosh.
So the question is, do you get him in the head or the hand? Because he's only got hands and a head up.
Okay, so you take 21 points of damage as the heavy crossbow is implanted, sticking your hand to the deck of the ship.
Oh, okay, to the upper.
Yeah, to the upper deck. and you could literally like fall, and the arrow would hold you up. Like it's heavy crossbow. It's a big ass bolt.
Would his hand not be ripped through though?
Oh, it would
His
be
feather or whatever it is?
Yeah, he would be messed up if he just decided to fall. And he kind of steps over, and he casts Cure Wounds on you, and pulls out the arrow and lets you fall.
Ow!
You heal.
How does Warden respond to that?
You heal 10 points of damage.
No, he's gonna be like, oh shit! Shit!
He takes 10 points of damage?
He
Yeah.
took 21. He just got healed 10.
Why did he get healed?
Because
He-
Zareth healed him a little bit, knowing he dealt a lot more damage than that, but doesn't want to enrage the rest of the party, so he healed him up a little bit. But he's incredibly annoyed. Like, Mikhail's kind of being a bit of a creep right now, let's be honest. Any sane person would not be okay with someone just being... for minutes at a time.
Yeah, Warden kind of now at this point has analyzed the situation because he's no longer looking at wilted flowers in his bag.
Now he's like, fight.
Lets out a really, really big sigh, but then healing word. Yeah, that's second. Sorry. Yes, second level.
Okay, so, Mikhail, are you doing any other fuckery with Zareth?
Not overtly.
12 points of healing.
Thanks, buddy. I'm going to be significantly more passive about it. But I'm still gonna, like, every time, like, I'm in the general vicinity of him, I'm going to kind of just...
Take a peek at him.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Like, 10, 20 seconds here, 30 seconds there.
As you guys go through your last evening... I'm gonna roll fucking inside for that.
I give
oh my
Sarah
lord.
the high five. Like, I want to go over to him as if I'm offering something, but there's nothing in my hand. And I rotate it for a high five.
He slaps your hand.
The four of you are going to hear me say,
Nice, that was good.
and you wonder why I didn't trust him. Until telepathically to you guys. He's just, yeah, I mean, he just gets that, he's like, sigh. Deep Irish sigh.
Deep Irish sigh. Love it. So, Zareth, again, goes through the night, and around 7 a.m. the next morning, you guys wake up to see, because you can't see super far in the fold, you wake up to look out and see a mountain that you cannot see the tip of, but a couple hundred feet out and up into the air, it scales very, very quickly upwards. You guys begin making your way around the mountains. I would like you guys to roll a perception check.
I love perception checks.
Oh my god. None of y'all need to roll perception.
Nah.
That's cool because I definitely.
I'm staying
rolled
downstairs.
25.
I'm staying downstairs.
I rolled a 24.
24, 25.
Although he will talk to you that night before the next morning and say and ask you if you could start working on the most. Basically, what do you need to make the most potent poison that you have?
Dear God, what do you want to do?
I can make a bunch of different types of poisons depending on what kind of herbs I find.
If anyone harms Dr. Varga,
Get, like,
I will slaughter them.
basic,
Yeah, no problem.
if I
No
get
problem with that.
Mercilessly,
basic
by the way.
types of materials,
I will
that I can
fully
find
let
at
the automaton,
pretty much any market.
automaton
Like, it's 50
battle
gold
line
worth, and I can
completely
make some
take over.
mediocre
The
stuff.
funniest thing is, you have the least capability to deal damage in this party.
If I keep
Even
taking venom
as
from
like
the
a powerful
snake,
clever, you have not taken a
that's
ton
one
of
of my
spells.
mottos.
Yep,
Once
which is
or
another-
Smacking
yeah.
people up.
Yeah,
But
So
you
I've
easily
been
one-v-one
collecting
them.
I
some
have-
from that. I need to
not
continue collecting
defense
that.
power.
I have
Love
taken
them.
a lot of
I never forgive an insult.
options with my spell.
When we're out, he's gone.
What did you just say?
That's
It's between
Anyway.
them.
but
So you're discussing Zareth.
yeah,
Don't kill Sarah.
not here.
Why?
So long rest.
Okay.
I don't want to kill Zareth. Warden wants to protect everybody.
That's why we didn't tell Zara. Or we
And
didn't
Nari feels guilty to have enslaved him into all of this. So Nari
talks.
feels very.
Technically, we did enslave Zareth.
I feel like
You guys
personally,
literally-
I wasn't here for this. What did we do then?
Nothing.
No, it was
He
the
signed
contract.
the
signed the
contract.
contract. He is sold
He's
out.
not here.
Yes, but he
By-
caused trouble. He betrayed him before that, in Nibs' point of view.
He betrayed who? Betrayed who? What?
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
Nib sees Zareth being about the halls, talking about you two to the rest of the party as a betrayal.
As
Wow.
he
Literally stop.
at a time where Nibs was worried and was trying to convince people, was trying to make nice with people and trying to make connections so that this wouldn't blow up.
Well, you went about sneaky, speaking a language he doesn't speak, and he is a very, very
Yes.
cautious person.
And technically, his body was possessed.
Yes, he was possessed at the time.
Which we should have just flicked salt at the thing. Anyway, doesn't
was
matter.
invisible. Because
He has done nothing that Nibs has seen that makes him have any value beyond his skills. So,
Which
Anyway.
are far beyond most of yours. if I'm gonna be
Beyond
honest.
the things we keep him around for.
I'm like, you just rolled a 30 for perception.
yeah,
And
but we're downstairs,
yeah, well,
25.
and I just,
yeah, 25. So you guys, those of you up deck, are like looking
Barrel of
around,
24.
and after about an hour of searching in the morning, once everyone is awake, you guys come across a massive chasm that goes between two of the mountains. That, like, you can tell it's a chasm, but there is a massive arcing, like 50-foot tall, like set of iron wrought gates in between the two mountains as they come to a very sharp decline.
Oh,
So, what do you guys do?
Are they closed?
yeah. Knock, knock!
They are closed. You just scream out knock knock. As you scream out knock knock, you guys ride up and kind of stop right in front of the door. And the doors, you hear as quiet as can be, the doors begin to slide open.
I will have, just for your sake, know that anytime I am outside, my helmet is down in
Yeah.
preparedness for combat, so it has been down.
Okay.
In case we interact
In
with
my
it.
head, I just think, thanks, homie.
As you think that, you guys see
It's
a
going up and going.
you see a green skinned with like brown and black spots all over his face creature dressed in fine like wizard's robes with a set of leather straps over him to serve as extra protection that have metal studs inside of them. As he steps out towards the gate, he seems to be the one opening the gate and somehow making a mechanical structure that would generally cause a lot of noise make absolutely no noise as he is pulling the doors open and then beckons you to come in and just begins walking down. And as you guys see the gates fully opened, this chasm goes down into the mountains.
So, this is Minecraft.
Sure.
The chasm goes into the mountain, into the caves.
So as you guys follow, it's way more
We
than
didn't
big
open
enough
the moonlight door.
for the skiff to go through and go down inside. And
So
he's
it's more than big enough.
yeah, the chasm itself is more than large enough for the skiff to come down into. And so as the skiff goes down in, Zareth is a little worried about trying to fit into a tighter space, but is confident enough that he can guide the ship through it, the skiff through it. So as you guys are going deeper and deeper in, you guys travel about a half mile at a fair decline before you really see anything else. However, at this point you guys are inside the mountain, and you begin to see offshoots at the beginning, and you're like, okay, this is a tunneling system and such, until it opens up into a massive pit. It's a circular cylinder that goes down a couple thousand feet, from what you guys can tell. And there is a multiple massive sets of spiral stairs that go all the way around, coming up, and some through the center as well, with bridges set out to the sides. There are hundreds of little rooms on the side that go into a variety of differently sized caverns. As you guys come to the edge of this pit, obviously, the skiff stops as Zareth puts a parking brake on, and the skiff kind of sets itself into the stone that it is on. You good?
Yeah, my mouse fell off, bounced, landed on my power brick, and spun like a top.
Warden feels very almost too comfortably at home, thinking of the dwarvish landscapes and architecture and buildings that he was essentially raised in. Not A6, but Warden.
Yeah.
So,
Dipson's upstairs. After that.
what does the architecture look like?
It is definitely not just like chipped into the stone. Like there are metal platings around everything. A lot of like dark purples, grays, blacks. Every single entrance has a frame to it that is set into the stone that is like metal plated. All of the walkways are made of like just iron, steel, and other metals that you might not even recognize from this kind of distance. It is completely industrialized.
Okay, A6 also feels very comfortably at home.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me perception checks.
Again? Oh, buddy.
19.
I just gauge there.
I got a 21.
You can't. No.
23.
He already rolled near max anyway. 23, okay.
I got a 21.
21, 13.
Yeah.
At the absolute base of the center spiral structure, like at the very bottom, you guys see a massive circle with thousands of runes inscribed to it. You can't quite tell what they are from this far away, but you can see, like a couple thousand feet up, nearly half a mile up, and you guys can see the circle of runic designs.
He also said you need to use the restroom, so.
Okay.
You need to go to the bathroom? Go potty.
Well, he's not leaving. Do you need to go to the bathroom, Jude? No? Okay. For some reason, Thomas thought you had said that. Okay.
Oh, I said 22.
Maybe he thought me too. Maybe he heard me too, because you said it just after I need to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
No problem. Either way, it is fantastically large. Probably a couple hundred feet round. What are you guys looking to do as you have now parked the ship?
Nibs is going to stay on the ship with the guy.
Nibs is going to stay on the ship?
With the, yes. We're here specifically because of Warren, and the guy told us to come. And so,
What happened?
Nothing.
I'm going to go back down, wild shape, and wrap the wyvern around me, and just kind of stay down there with that, because frankly, I can't roll anything with my intelligence that's worth anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can listen if he wants to think. If someone wants to tell me what's going on or what's up telepathically through the stuff, that's fine. I won't. I don't have anything to really benefit, and frankly, I don't want to come into contact with the guy after trying to figure out all the loopholes around it. Out of the contract or the zone.
Yeah.
But Warden is going to, both through the Rocky Talkie and to the party members that don't have Rocky Talkies, he's going to say, please be on your best behavior. And also, leave the doctor to me. I would like my introduction to be on my own accord.
Okay. So who all is going down? Zareth's going to go? Warden's
No.
going. Sonari's going. Mikhail's
Warden.
going.
I'm going.
Trick's going. I'm gonna say Zai joins as well. So
Warden looks very stout in his walk. He is very.
does he pop up his helmet?
No, he is helmet down. He is not revealing himself, but he is very excited.
Before you go, Nibs is gonna kind of
He-
give you.
he does
Nibs
have-
is gonna give you a little pat and go. I know this is your big moment, but be careful. And I'm just gonna look at you and go. You already disassembled you once. Be careful. And he's just gonna-
Warden's stoutness fades for just a moment, but then comes back because he kind of snaps out of his excitement and says, "Oh wait," in his mind. Kind of like, "Oh yeah. These people didn't like the corrupt robots."
Yeah.
And he was like, and he's just gonna give a slight nod as he continues to walk forward.
Yeah, he'll just kind of pat your shin as you start to leave the ship, and go. I think it's better for all of us if I stay here and keep my mind out of his clutches, at least for the time being until he comes looking. And go down to the wyvern.
So you go down to the wyvern.
Yeah, the only thing you do here, you guys hear over the thing is, oh, and if you can find like some good food or big food, or this little one's gonna need more food.
Alright.
So as you guys begin making your way down this spiral staircase, well, first of all, you get off the ship. As you guys get off, you are greeted by that green-skinned figure earlier, who just kind of nods to you guys as you step up, and specifically as you step up, he nods to you. My regards to you, A6.
Ah, shit. He already knows who I am. I am just going to give a nod back and continue walking.
And continue walking down.
Yes.
Okay. As you he's like standing by the staircase, not blocking it, but as you begin to walk by him, he kind of holds his hand out real quick. There are a couple rules while you are here. No fighting. Absolutely. No aggressive contact with those here, lest all of you die.
I'm gonna give a look over at Zareth.
Zareth kind of glares at you, kind of deciding you're probably more aggressive than I am in these conversations.
Well, I mean, that's good enough.
Warden is going to just respond. I am but a healer. And a craftsman. And I'm
He also kicks butt. Like when they're fighting and stuff.
But before he lets you pass on, he regards your people are also those who destroy the city. Don't think we have forgotten that. We have forgotten many things. And he's going to drop his hand. I am Kronos.
Are you guys
As-
communicating this?
Well,
Yeah, I'm just gonna have like a running feed of my
So,
yeah,
so in your ears
we're-
go, they aren't the ones who destroyed the whole freaking world. He's like,
well,
and he's just, because all he's gonna say is, they weren't the ones that dropped the freaking bomb. But just
as he says his name is like, my regards to you, Kronos. But I was also destroyed myself, yet here I am.
Go ahead and... You know what? I don't think you need to roll history for this. His race, or at least the race that he is putting forward, is that of a Gith. Which you recognize in recent past as the race that kind of came back from the Astral Sea and started effing shit up about 7 or so years ago. But you also recognize that when Prometheus was describing to you the cities, Agslagdan which was a city in the north, of which a little bit of it.
Good.
Are you okay?
Well, I wrote GIF in my notes next to the green and black splotch wizard man, and I tried to autocorrect to Girth.
Girth, green and brown splash.
Girthy wizard.
Yep.
But
Of course, the cum monster would know that.
exactly. You recognize that up here in the northern section, a little bit of that city was Cottonfold. You do not know exactly why Kronos has this form, but he is portraying himself as a gift, which kind of leads you to believe he was not Asusian, or at least not as set towards being linked with Asus as Prometheus was.
I'm rolling insight.
Okay.
Well, okay. As
60.
well, I
60?
16.
I heard 60.
I heard 62. I was like, what?
Yes, definitely.
Does Warden have a response?
Yes. Hold on. I had it in my mind and I forgot it.
Okay, on that 16 insight, he is incredibly difficult to read. You have absolutely you cannot narrow down how he feels exactly about Warden. Just that there is a slight twinge of aggression there due to the past. Okay, Warden.
Warden is just going to say...
Gosh.
Warden's going to say... After he said, he's like, and yet I was destroyed, but here I am. And he's going to say, I was destroyed before the bomb I had hands with making happened. And he's just going to kind of nod and say, my face cover remains on until I deem it necessary.
Okay. As you have said that, he lowers his hands, and not as though he's teleporting, but almost as though he is rewinding. You see him shift back up the halls of which he came.
Yo, dude, what were the other rules? I'm gonna say as I'm noticing that.
No combat.
That's the only rule.
No aggression, no combat. Technically 2 rules, because aggression is not always combat. But
So I can't say fuck you.
depends on who you're saying it to.
With my insight, am I able to understand why those are the 2 rules?
Because this particular group of people have survived 14,000 years together due to their lack of aggression towards each other. They're a very, very large conglomerate, pretty much family at this point. When you spend multiple thousand years with a group of 2,000 or so people, you're gonna know everyone. Like, you just will. And so they've been around long enough. If you have any chance of hurting one of them, it doesn't matter that you're their first chance in however many thousands of years to help them. They will just kill you and wait for another. That's about what you can tell from it. So, as you guys begin making your way down the spiral, Nibs, you hear Prometheus in your mind. Not wanting to see the chasm.
Can we rewind pretty please, just slightly?
What?
This is what I imagine.
Nothing will go wrong. Those bastards out there.
Yes!
And you fuckers do anything to a monster.
Where's Warden?
Your horses, you fucking kids. You do anything to
This is Warden speech to us.
Yeah.
No sports, no selling fortunes, no racing, no fucking pencil on their fucking cars. Are you sorry? Stop spending that much money. Shh. Set it to the top.
Peaky Blinders.
But the main thing is, you got your fuckers. You spawned the provocation from the cavalry. No fighting. Right. No fighting. No fucking fighting. No fighting.
Fucking fighting! Okay, that was it. Oh, no. And then, this is my favorite part of the scene.
His mother just throws a knife at the dude who's on the ground. Because he's sitting there like carving up an apple and eating it, and you see he throws the thing in his right hand, not in his left, so he throws the knife at the dude.
I'm here for it.
Oh.
Okay.
Anyways, that's her
Nibs.
speech.
Now that we've
Nibs basically goes.
killed a minute.
Sorry.
Yeskin goes. Yeah. There's not a lot I can learn here because I am out of my league, out of my area of expertise. I've got a young one here that needs all the help and comfort it can get. Life is hard, especially for one young in this area, as you well know.
Life is hard, but my cock is harder.
That's why he's sticking around with Wyvern.
No.
It only works
You
if you're a
hear.
dragon.
No.
You are indubitably out of your league. However, the fact of the matter is you have more than enough things you can learn here. And the Wyvern could certainly do with some food.
Aye, that it could. But, he kind of sighs and goes, can't say that the little one won't follow the rules. He goes, would you have mercy on it, or at least assist in its behavior?
That creature could not kill even the weakest of those in this chasm. Could not even threaten.
Aye. But
You did the whole baby finger in the doggy butthole trick.
Probably. Or Sarah just got excited and knocked him over and killed.
He's just gonna say, well, he goes, I understand that nothing here can, but I don't want it being killed as an inconvenience or for breaking one of the rules. He goes, but if you want it, we'll come.
It is your decision, but you are more than welcome. And it would be easier for you to hear some things firsthand than from the sending stones your companions hold.
Don't drop.
How does he know?
How big's the wyvern? Is the wyvern grown?
Wyvern is a little bit bigger, not incredibly so. What's going on?
That's a great question. He
Yeah.
may have fallen and hit his chin, which means his upper gum is bleeding again.
Yeah.
Because his bottom teeth went.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Or he pulled a me and bit his tongue in half.
don't say shit like that.
Wyvern.
Testing fate out here.
When I was 2 or 3 years old, I fell out of like the stroller tipped over, and I bit my tongue with the 2 front top teeth, and completely cut, like, severed my tongue in half.
Yeah, sew it back on.
No, actually, the doctor was like, there is literally nothing we can do because the tongue is the fastest healing muscle in the body.
So
So it's like you just kind of have to tough it out. And my mother said I screamed for like 4 days straight. But you can see where the crevice goes, like it curves.
Ah,
It's also very fat.
Have you showed?
But the thing is the tongue grows, like the tongue is the fastest healing muscle in the body, but when you sever the tongue, I'll use these 2 fingers, sever the tongue, it grows back towards each other because it's going so fast. So my tongue is twice as wide as the average human.
Oh, what the fuck?
That's weird as fuck.
I was like, I was gonna say, it looks smaller than usual, and then you're like, "Wah."
They're like, it's literally wider than your mouth. What the fuck?
Oh, that's
My
awesome.
friends always loved to bring that up as like, dude, do the party trick.
Do the tongue. Do the tongue thing.
thing. And
They're trying to wingman you, and they're like, bro, do the tongue thing. Come on, do the tongue thing. And she's like, oh.
Hey.
Anyway,
There's just gonna shrug, look at the. I guess I will use spells to communicate with the wyvern.
the wyvern seems excited.
damn,
So,
get fucked, nerd.
all right. We'll head up the ladder stairs, get up there on deck, and I'll let them know. It's like, well, I've been informed that I should probably join you. So we're gonna join you.
As you guys hear that, Prometheus is walking up the set of stairs that you guys are coming down and meets you as you're both going towards each other. Welcome to the Overkeep Chasm. Are you looking to perhaps stay for a little while? Eat?
Isn't it the morning?
It is morning.
We can still see Kronos, right?
No, Kronos has disappeared back up.
Kronos
towards the door.
hashtag dipped.
Yes, you did.
Inside to see if Prometheus is Kronos.
Go ahead and roll insight.
Dang, it's so close to an 18. Roll the 9.
A 9. This is, you feel like this is Prometheus.
Yeah, sure.
Going through pleasantries of just, do you plan on staying the evening? Where would you like to start?
I'm just gonna pull out my like gun thing and just be like, can you help me with this?
Technically, he already answered that question for me, but that was
Yes,
in my mind.
see.
That was in my mind.
Do you ask that, like, vocally?
Yes. And then
Okay.
in his head he just hears, please?
You hear him say, vocally, I am always wary to give anyone the capability of any technologies we had here in the fold. Reason being, your world, from what I've read from your minds and the minds of other adventurers I have met, which have been very few and in their dying breaths, your world is not ready for the technology that this place holds.
Damn. The whole gun is a cock tease.
Well, it's a cocktail.
She'll be like, well, it might help us complete our mission for you a little bit faster.
Go ahead and roll persuasion. I knew that was coming. So
Warden is gonna stand under his breath
hold on,
because
hold on. Go ahead and roll through the tower. What you need is a 15 or higher. Oh, can you not roll with that?
Go through the other hole.
I don't think either hole will allow it, she said.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Dave.
I don't think you're gonna get through.
That's so unfortunate.
here,
You
try
can just
mine.
roll it now.
Here, I'll use...
Try mine.
I'll
Use
use
spell
Use the
dice.
dice. So, with your modifier included, you need a 15 on this.
15
to
on the
get-
dice.
No, 15 with his modifier added.
Oh, I got 17.
You got a 17? Okay. So, as you finish that, he pulls out another slab of paper and a table appears in front of you too. And it's pardoning the return of the item once the quest is complete.
Damn.
And the protection of that item with your life,
Damn.
as it should not be in the hands of anyone else, other than those he specifically allows it.
Wait. Clarifications. If he has to return it, correct? Nibs comes down with the dragon, and I'm gonna just kind of tap your leg, Warden, and go, "Would be so kind as to hold the little one."
The wyvern seems incredibly docile here.
Did we all notice him coming up? Did I just miss that? Like him showing
He
up?
told him, I apparently
He told us.
joined you guys.
Yeah.
And Morpheus spoke with him.
Okay, cool. Well, I know that, but I was like, when did he actually show up?
Alright, well,
Now.
I just missed that.
Warden, without saying anything, picks him up and kind of
He just sits on your shoulder.
drops him up on the shoulder.
He is wrapped around your neck.
Cool. It wouldn't do anything anyways.
yeah.
What is he doing?
Nibs gonna come up and look at the contract.
I'm going to be like, here, let me run this by my lawyers, and then as I turn to look at Nibs, I'm just going to sign it, and be like, huh, whoops.
He takes the paper back, and the next time you check your rotary, it will have a fully charged battery in it.
One
Does
singular
it,
battery.
like, because I'm still just kind of like holding it here. I guess we in this hand. Right. Does it like glow or anything? Or do I
So,
just have to like
pretty much,
physically, like look into it?
The cannon, again, it's a slanted thing with 5, is it 5 or 6? I believe it's 6 rotary cylinders inside of it. As you notice, there is a small open container along the hilt that has been slid open, and there is a pretty significantly large cylinder with blue energy radiating in it. And as you wind the item up, you see that each of the cylinders has a different color to it.
Oh shit.
Huh.
Oh, I forgot I could do that. I'm a sage.
Okay.
There's my background.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to ask him if he wants to give me the rundown on what the colors mean real quick.
Different damage types.
Intuitively?
You'll have to attune to it.
Well, I ask him, like, are the damage types intuitive to their colors?
Yes.
Okay.
You attune to it and you'll know what it does.
that pretty much is what he's saying. Like,
Yeah.
you'll understand how to operate it once you attune to it. And I'll need to make
Move your
that
nose,
up.
bro.
Okay.
Move your nose. I don't want you looking at me.
Okay, yeah, see?
I like to get
Home Slice just got a grenade launcher.
Home Slice just got a technologically advanced weapon. So, as
And is
Prometheus,
now sworn by his life to protect.
the paper burns.
Basically the same way as the other
Basically the same way as the others, sealing the contract. And he says,
I'm going
would you like some food, or would you like to go to the laboratory first? You'll seem hungry.
I'm gonna look up the little guy and go, I think he needs to eat.
Could do with some food.
Alright.
I do not
Get a roll.
consume
Oh, no roll.
Okay. He says,
for energy.
I would prefer, and all the inhabitants would prefer, that newcomers stay as a group. Wanderers are not taken lightly. We will not be long. And as you guys begin making your way down, you go another couple levels down, and then off to the right there is a bright gray room that is just completely tiled out, and there is a huge cafeteria. And stepping inside, you guys see quite a few Yuan-Ti, or snake people, all of which are mostly humanoid. Some have a tail, some have eyes that go sidewise, others have a forked tongue. Some have some scaly bits to them. Others, a hand is like split into 2 tails. But there are just minor serpentine
Dick fingers.
dick fingers, exactly. The ladies love them. Jinx. Stop hitting the laptop, bro.
You need to put 666666666.
Demon child!
No! But there are probably somewhere between 30 and 40 of these serpentine people in this cafeteria. And as you guys sit down, Prometheus kind of sits with you and says, just think of a food that you would like, and it shall be crafted and brought to you in a period of time.
I'm going to think of the most abstract foods that I have seen in all of my travels across the plains.
They would appear for you. Now, they take a couple minutes. But after a couple minutes, there is a mage hand that floats the food out and sets it down.
I'm particularly interested to see if there's any Feywild delicacies on this hand.
Can I ask for a magical food? Like a literal potion of healing?
No. Mundane foods. As you guys are sitting there, you're at an 8-seated table, and there are 7 of you, along with Prometheus, making 8. As you guys are eating, another chair appears, and sitting down, after walking into the mess hall, is a human man with brown, ruddy hair, bright green eyes. And stepping into the conversation is Dr. Bobberman.
Wait, is this a conversation with us or someone else?
Yes, with you guys.
Wait, what are they saying?
Nothing has been said. He has stepped up to the table where you guys are eating.
Oh god, well I gotta pee real quick, so
My
can I
gosh.
please?
Give the baby away, go pee and get back quickly.
So Nibs thought about dragon steaks for him and whatever.
Nice.
Hey, Mama.
I'm just gonna say real quick,
Pee!
Say after you pee.
if Prometheus
Go pee.
spilled the beans, I'm gonna be really upset.
What beans?
He wanted to keep the.
There is no reason for Prometheus not to have told everyone, hey, our robot from 14,000 years ago has come back, guys. I invited him to the crib. Just letting y'all know.
Well, yeah.
Invited him to the crib.
So, Warden, I was going to say, so in front of Warden is dragon steaks for the wyvern to eat.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And Nibs is also eating it, and he's telling him mentally, he says to everyone, he goes, you ought to what you eat. And he goes, I'm eating some good dragon, will get you up on a higher level there, little one. And he's just talking to him at the table about the superiority of food and of dragons, and how even though he is a wyvern, he can ascend.
You're not. I know.
Yeah. Oh, he's going
While
for it. She's
while
going.
we're eating,
As well as
I'm going to still continue looking at Zareth.
Zareth is giving you, like, aggressive side eyes every time he realizes you're staring.
Side eye.
When he looks over, I'll just like kind of like glance away for a second and then kind of like look back at him. I don't see a moment.
This is the only place he can't do anything
So,
to you.
as you guys hear the rapid footsteps stepping up and like the sliding of a chair, he's not even there. The chair slides out and he like gets in a sitting position and the chair slides underneath him and he immediately looks at you and your helmet, your face guard slides up.
Unwillingly?
Yeah, it just slides up immediately as he sits down and he's just
Warden, learning the lingo of his party members. Fuck.
he is like actively leaned in looking at you.
Obviously looking at what I look like now.
Yeah. Hello, A6.
Dr. Balberin.
I hear you go by Warden now. Fascinating.
14,000 years does something to a
I'm
man.
saying that telepathically.
She'll answer you. Remember, everyone here.
He seems so hyper-focused on A6 that even though he probably did hear you,
He doesn't care.
he does not care. He's just... And also, he's just a scientist in comparison to whatever Prometheus
See, that's what I was saying. Like, he's just a...
Now, that doesn't mean he's not a
He's just a
level
geek.
20 plus wizard.
I was gonna say the contract said doesn't have anything about anyone touching it. I know this cat named Jinx might be able to figure out how it works.
Oh my gosh. There may be ways to get Jinx in this campaign. It'll be difficult though.
Well, he
so-
signed it. Now I'm not gonna risk it.
Yeah. Anyway, just leaning and continuing to... He like begins casting a spell, not aggressively, but just like helping him figure out what happened to you.
Guitars. Just as a assignment. At whatever point, because I'm pretty sure I'm getting pretty close now.
Yeah.
At whatever point you deem me hitting that 10 minutes,
I'd say over this meal you get 10 minutes.
at whatever point that happens, my fatal flaw is I just immediately begin to shift into whatever it is that I'm learning.
As you do so, Zareth looks at you, slams his fork into the table, looks towards Prometheus, says, "Sorry, I will fucking kill you once we leave this place."
And then I just
Just
shift back.
plain voiced.
My
He was
threat,
like, what? And then, "I'm sorry, I will kill you."
My threat level detector goes off and says, "Threat detected. Aggression."
Dr. Voberman is still paying no attention to anything else.
That was like automated. I'm not even looking at you guys, but that was automated. It just says threat detected. Aggression.
Interesting. So your system has survived to this point. You see him pull out a tool, and he's like, "Hey, where you going, Bubba?"
At this, Nib's gonna pop up on the table, walk over, and kind of lift off the wyvern, set it down at the table, and kind of bring it over to you.
There's the wyvern probably eating by now.
Oh,
Yeah.
the wyvern.
Yeah.
You like grab a steak, grab the wyvern, and just
Yeah.
as you slide it over.
Get it off so you bring it over.
Warden looks down at himself and just says, "I appreciate everything the dwarves have done. But
I'm
yes,
not going to mess with anything dwarves did. I want to know about your insides.
you may proceed then."
You see him disappear, and you guys all see him unscrew the latch and then plug in a tool into his hex port behind his neck. And after about 5 or 6 seconds, he pulls it out and is back in the chair. And you see a hologram appear in front of it, and he's going through a diagnostics check of A6.
Nice.
Seems the intelligence core is still removed. Fixed the memory core. And he's sliding through things. Huh. The dwarves severely negated your capabilities, but also enhanced them in other regards. This is quite intriguing. It's fascinating what other people in a far less sophisticated time can do with a more sophisticated object.
Nibs is gonna come back and set up on your shoulder.
Okay.
Who are your companions?
Oh, I just, while he's doing that, right before he asked that, Nibs is gonna go, it's like, oh, I think he'd do better if you would remove that limiter that's around his neck.
He kind of looks towards you. I assume that you have a sense of... Let me rephrase this. You think we don't communicate with each other. We've had a discussion with Prometheus. We already know what the deal is.
I am, the sooner the time starts, the better.
The sooner time starts, the better. That is correct. However, I believe if one of us, even as advanced as we are, attempted to remove it, the first person would likely have to be a casualty. For us to fully
I look
understand.
over for a second.
Zareth is...
He doesn't have one.
No,
He's
he's not.
I have dozens of colors, of dozens of makes.
Warden
Anyway,
is
I just
going
Nari's
to.
gonna walk to see that and like flash her eyes.
Warden is going to go through and start kind of just pointing at each of the party members. Say, here we have the Bard to Satyr, correct?
Yes.
The Satyr Bard.
So you go through...
So I go through and it's like we have the Druid, we have the woman, we have
Okay, after you go through and
then half about as I go all the way through and go, oh, I often forget that I now can remember things better, and I go through and name all of them by their name.
Okay. After you do that, he kind of nods to each of you with, like, unexpressible excitement. Like, he is giddy like a schoolgirl. He's so excited about this meeting, and he's just like, I never thought this day would come. This is quite intriguing. Prometheus kind of butts in and is like, Loberman, you're scaring them. You're way too excitable. Go work on something real quick and come back once you got a little less energy. And Loberman just disappears.
Aww.
Nari's gonna think, I like Loberman a lot more than I like you.
Prometheus kind of nods to you. Loberman is indeed excitable. However, when he's excitable, he likes to tinker with things. When he tinkers with things, he takes them apart. I would rather not have him take apart Ward. Because I would not put it past him.
I'm just gonna like pull out $6 or $7 and toss them on the table. You my guest?
He kind of looks towards you. I understand why you want them off so soon, and trust me, if I feel like it would be beneficial towards my cause, I would let you. However, if you are unable to get the collars off by legal means, then you will be put on a watch list and hunted, making your job far more difficult, as you will have to rely not just upon the seedy underground contacts that you may have, but also any contacts above ground. For what you are searching for from me are quite extensively rare.
Actually, if we all die, then they won't put us on a watch list.
Nibs is gonna go. They might, because they want to watch for our bodies to show up. People still collect on dead bodies.
Warden casually says, "Not on my watch."
Either way,
Well, think of it like this. We can just identify the person if they die.
either way, it is far more
That
beneficial
alarm.
for you to remove your neckbands by legal means than by us just removing them for you. And while, yes, we could figure it out, we have other focuses.
So yeah, Nibs is just gonna pick him back up, put him in his sleeve, one up, put him in his sleeve.
Pick a whole bunch of food up, put it in your sleeve.
Yep.
Yep.
Start thinking about more exotic cuts of dragon.
After about another 2 minutes, Voberman reappears and sets down a box with just absolutely filled with little bits and bobs of metal, and he is, like, with his mind, just assembling them and disassembling them into, like, multi-foot tall structures, and then collapsing them and making them into a toy gun, and then into a large, like, laser sword, and just fiddling with them as he kind of sits back down. I have no clue where to start. Who found you? How did they find you?
Warden is going to give a brief description of the history of how the continent was found by the Dwindalen, and how in one of the expeditionary groups, the Dwindalen dwarves came to the fold and did stumble upon Asus and found the box of my remains, brought it back, seeing as though it was an automaton, much like the other types of Warforged of their time, decided to reassemble it, seeing it as some sort of nature of advancement. Reassembled me the best they could and repurposed me as an envoy. And then I gave a brief history of how I was raised in the high temples of Gond, and I am now serving as a cleric and protector for this party.
He seems a little disappointed at the end of things. You're not really A6 anymore, I can tell.
I only recently gained the memories of my past, mere weeks ago.
I can tell that you still like to work on things and develop them, but not at the extent of the capabilities you used to be able to. I can
Yes.
return you to that.
I still miss, according to my party, according to my fellows here, I still miss 3 of my 4 intelligence cores, I understand. However, I do have a passion for creation. And he, out of the bag of holding, he just pulled out his very hefty grappling hook and say, "This is my current prized creation in order to combat the Vukar of this fold and their flying capabilities, seeing as how I am not an aerial unit."
He kind of takes it, examines it. Hold out your arm.
Oh fuck.
He sets it over. You see he takes out a tool and lasers through your arm. It splits open, and he sets it in. And after a few minutes of tinkering, sets it into your arm and casts a spell on it itself to where it can shrink down into your arm when it is not being used.
Shrink. It can even shrink now.
Let's go!
Oh my god.
You hand him back your unmovable rod.
Oh, sir!
As soon as I am incisioned up, well, I don't have eyebrows, but you can see my eyes are very open and almost amazed that, it's now even shrunk down in size.
It takes him about like 15 to 20 seconds to do that.
Yeah, but afterwards, Warden immediately, feeling the integration, deploys it, not with any intent to fire it, but deploys it. So you see the fist, like my fist, almost roll inward, kind of almost like hugging my forearm, and then like the entire contraption just, and then the at the very front of it you see the crossbows with the grappling hook, and then I flip it back and kind of just move my hands. I was like, oh damn.
I would like to introduce you to the rest of the team.
Team?
Neve's gonna patch
Do you
his
mean-
head off.
My team or yours?
Oh, apologies. Most of your team is dead.
I figured.
Yes, a lot of... He kind of looks over towards Prometheus to kind of get the go-ahead, and Prometheus kind of nods. Let's just say Ace was not overtly friendly in some regards after a few choice words and encounters were had with Prometheus and his brothers, and very, very few of the scientific teams of any of the Fold's inhabitants survived. But those who did were kept, as we have been working on trying to destroy the Fold for a long time.
I do have many questions.
Well, we could answer some of them.
Understood.
And also Prometheus. Well, we'll be checking with him to see if we're allowed. They are. Prometheus kind of speaks up. Yes, Dr. Voberman, we are by technicality your captors, but you are free to create as you wish. And Voberman is coming. We are captives of sort.
Just tapping my necklace to say, I understand.
As that happens, he's like, well, as long as everyone is done eating, we can go a little bit far. You see
That sounds
the
very creepy.
twinkles in his eyes legitimately brighten, brighten. This
Is he
deep
a
set
human?
green. He appears to be human, yes. This deep set green turns into a very, very vibrant, opaque color. As he's kind of looking around with excitement.
As he looks over at me, I'm just gonna say, "Hey doctor, you want to see a party trick?" And then I'm going to shift into what he looks like. At 85% effectiveness.
Okay, he kind of looks at you on the upside, looks underneath the table. You see him disappear, and he's behind you, holding onto your neck. Appears back into his chair.
You're missing a molar.
Missing quite a bit.
I know it's a little bit off. I didn't have my normal time to see. I only saw you on a computer screen or whatever you call those gadgets in
Yes, a
the
hologram.
laboratory.
I will say, however, it is quite intriguing to meet a race that didn't exist before the fall.
Well, to be fair, sir, we did exist, just not here.
Well,
You think
Yes,
we're
and-
sir?
yes
so.
and no. You get the idea that the Feywild and the Shadowfell were not as developed this long ago. All three of these worlds are parallels of each other. All three of those inner planes are parallels of each other in some regard or another. And they develop at fairly the same rates, including the amount of races that are included in them. Around the time of the schism, there were nowhere near as many races as there are now. A lot of creation occurred in between the schism and the calamity. That's why the calamity happened in the first place. Due to all of these new personalities and orders being introduced into it, everyone kind of got pissed with each other again. And the gods were like, okay, now we gotta really separate everyone. And so, you are not certain on whether your race was actually created for the fold or not. Or at least in my world, that's it's said. In Forgotten Realms, yeah. Everything's billions of years old. But he had not seen you pre fold. And so he's like, very intriguing. And the youngest cousin of Dragonfolk, also intriguing to see.
Just got a nod as he's eating more dragon stage and feeding it to the wyvern.
Yeah. Elementals, Warfay, and interesting.
He's just over here.
What is he again? No?
Yeah, he's a gnome.
Oh, yeah.
And so he begins to lead you guys down a staircase through the middle towards the center spire.
Actually stabbed me.
He's trying. I'm holding the first
Why are you playing so much guitar?
It's doing pretty good, actually.
However, with that, it is 8:20, not 9:20.
I have the child.
St. Clair has a child that needs to go to sleep. Bipartisan and then Thomas has a child that needs to go to sleep. So I think we're gonna end that session here. Fascination with trees and inter-party relations took a little bit longer than anticipated. However,
Fascination.
Yeah, no shit.
development occurred, and we will get
No
deeper
shit.
into the Overkeep Mountains.
Everyone took like 40 minutes to talk about, well, more like 30 minutes to talk about a fucking tree.
It's awesome.
And now we have an entire party member or two that is dedicated to making sure this tree is happy in 6 months.
And so
Or birds, not animals.
Lame.
this next session will be quite interesting, as you are going to meet a lot of really smart people. And some other really powerful ones. You already met Kronos, but he's not Prometheus' only brother here. So we're gonna have some
Brother?
of them. That's how he was introduced.
Oh, I missed that bit.
Yeah. Or at least, during this conversation, Boberman spoke of Kronos as Prometheus' brother, and his other brothers are here as well.
They're the ones that keep him as a prisoner.
I
lock
need the
him up,
backpack so I can back up my
and
stuff. at least.
doesn't like help me.
I was making the custom item. So the hit die is 20 plus natural proficiency, which is plus 6. So
Okay.
20 plus 6. So if you think about it, anything past 60 feet would, well, if I were to fire at 120 feet,
You would be at a flat D20 roll.
but
Remember, man, are you done getting all the FD
anyways, you can modify anything.
So- I will take a deeper look at it later. However, one major disadvantage. Oh, you aren't attuned. One major disadvantage.
That's why the cold wasn't showing up. I put it in there.
Yeah, to your integrations is the fact that they are attuned items.
Damn.
Which is
Tower.
which is the biggest negative to it, but
This is how you chose to do the integrations.
well, it's also a way to keep you from not having too many. Because if you're just like, I want to be able to fly, I want to be able to do grappling hooks, I want to be able to do this and that and this and that. You can
What
only
if
have
I
so many.
wanted? What if I wanted 4 arms? Is that an integration, or is that just?
That's an
We
upgrade,
might be killing
integration.
Zareth next week, guys.
Yeah, so I got the impression.
What'd you say?
I said we might be killing Zareth next week. He's mad at me.
Anyways,
Zareth, you're
don't
being a
kill
creep.
the driver.
Mikhail is being a creep towards Zareth, and Zareth is not
Crying
about
out
it.
loud.
And
Don't
here's the thing.
kill the driver.
I can guarantee you Zai's gonna be against it, Trake's against it, Warden's against it, Nari's against it, so if you guys do it, you have the whole party against you. And also, Zareth could easily 1v1 either of you. Not both of you, but one of you.
Well, it's all about when you do it and how you do it.
Moves and counter moves.
Warden can tank both of you.
Oh, Warden can take
Probably
any
would.
two.
Oh, we're not gonna.
He probably couldn't hurt us, but he can definitely take
As
hits.
soon as we get out of the
He
hole,
can mess you
as
up.
soon as we get out of the hole, he's gone.